Hey everybody, Justin Cener here. How's it going today? Welcome to the first ever Shopify Success live training. And thank you so much for joining me here. Thanks so much for signing up. And Luca, you're very welcome. I hope you guys see the chat box on here. Larry, what's going on? You guys see the chat on here? I think that only I probably see what you guys type in, but I could see all your guys' comments and stuff. So definitely use this box for sure if this is your first time using Demio for webinars. It's basically the same as GoToWebinar. It's got a chat box over here. Definitely want you guys to be posting questions. It's a small group, and really it doesn't even look like everyone's in here. We had 50 people sign up for this, and there's 26 in here right now. So we're going to be having a very small group with this program, and it's going to be great, right? We have these live webinars, we have the group, and I really want you to take advantage of it and ask a lot of questions, and you're going to see just a ton of stuff today. Bruce, what's up? Ben, Elliot, Nicola, James, guys, nice to see you. It's going to be great. I'm really excited about this. I have everything recording in here, and I really want to jump into it, and I'll give a couple minutes just to let a couple of the stragglers join in. You see the agenda on the screen right now, and there's a lot of stuff that we want to cover. The short of it is we're going to do three main things today, and actually before I say that, I'll tell you about really just the overall goal of this. We'll talk more specifically about weekly goals at the end, but I basically want to obviously start and customize a store. We're going to do that today. That's pretty straightforward. Then we're obviously picking a niche. We're going to do that today as well. Then we're going to go and actually find product, show you how to research product, what I really look for in terms of products, the testing strategy that I'll go with in terms of launching a niche, and from there, who knows what's going to happen. Maybe we'll make sales on our first try, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll find a winner, maybe we won't. Depending on what happens, it's basically going to turn into a live coaching program where I'm basically just coaching my own store, and you guys are going to watch it, right? You're going to just see everything that I do in terms of the decision process, and really, I want to get to $100, $150, $200 a day. Consistently, not just one day, but most of the days out of the week. That would be my goal. And who knows how long that's going to take. It could take. If we imagine if we hit a winning product on day one. We could hit $200 days in the first week, or it might take a couple weeks. We'll see. But that's going to be the real cool part about this. And Bruce asks, when are you going to post the replays? Probably about an hour after this is done. I think it just takes an hour to process, and you should get an automatic email with the replay link, and I'll also post it in the group in there. But it should only take an hour. So Israel says not able to listen. I think everyone else is having no problem hearing this. So definitely just reload this page, or close it and reopen it to come back in here. And let's see. Kwong says I cannot see chat. There should be a little chat icon on the top of your screen. It looks like a little chat icon. If you click that, it will open up the chat, and then you should see it here. Okay. Cool. Are we going to mix it up with T-shirt and drop shipping in the same store? Absolutely. Right. Absolutely, we're going to, and we're going to implement both of those things today. And you see on the agenda, Oberlo and Custom Cat. Those are going to be the apps that we do, that we're going to implement, and I'll talk about that when we get up to that point. Basically, the goal for today, we're going to have a fully live store. There's going to be some things, that we're not going to be able to complete today. For example, a logo, right? If you've heard any of my trainings, we say definitely, you want to get a strong first impression. We're going to get a logo professionally designed. It's not going to cost probably more than, considering the designers I have, $37 to get a logo, right? You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to get a logo, and we'll talk about that. But really, everything's going to be finished today in terms of the entire store, minus maybe some design work that we're going to outsource, okay? And that means, we're going to be able to really move into number 7 over here, doing product research. Like, we're going to do, hopefully, a lot of that today, find some cool things, and really get us set up to launch ads this week. So today is all about getting set up. It's going to be seeing exactly what it takes to get set up, and then also doing some product research, discussing the niche, and really getting set up to move quickly. I always say money loves speed, and I don't want to wait longer than a couple days to start having ads running to this site. I should know pretty quickly what's going on in this niche in just a couple of weeks, right? I don't anticipate it to take months and months and months of our time here to get to a $200 store, and you'll see that if it takes a couple of weeks, let's say 3-4 weeks to get to that, I would have already probably switched niches, or whatever niche we're going to nail down, and I've narrowed it down today. We're going to discuss that first. I wouldn't stick around in a niche for 4 weeks unless I'm already making sales. So we're going to move quickly here. And, of course, everything is recorded. I have 2 sets of recordings going on here, so make sure that you get the replay. And, you're going to see literally the entire process. That's going to be the cool part. And that being said, I think I gave about 6 minutes. Yeah, so probably everyone who's going to come here live is in here now. We're going to jump into it. Again, use the question box. Kwong says, I can't see what others are saying. That's just basically how it's set up. I don't know how to change that. I think it's just default. I just see what everyone asks. Donna says, I've taken your advice to pick a niche from the top 40. Could you please cover the new audience insights? Yeah, I'm going to show you audience insights right now, and you're going to see how worthless it is. And I've never been a huge fan of audience insights. You can take a look at, I made a nice video on my YouTube about why it doesn't matter. But you'll see we'll use audience insights for about 5 seconds. That's all it's good for now. Larry says, will you review our existing stores at all? You could post in the group, but this is definitely going to be more about just launching this new store. You're going to see everything that I'm everything that I put into any store. And by the way, this isn't something that is new for me in terms of launching stores. My goal, and I'll admit that I don't hit it every week, but my goal is to launch a new store every single week. And without a doubt, not every single one of them succeed, right? I mean, if every single one of my stores succeeded, that would be amazing. But that's not the case. But launching stores, you're going to see the process is pretty easy, right? It's something that you can do pretty consistently, and that's another real cool thing about this business. So I'm going to talk niches now, right? And you might have seen the post that we made inside of the members group, just asking about different niches. And I think I kind of gave a little insight, just very, very brief insight in terms of what I look for, right? And I'll bring over this on the screen right now. Something about here, talking about niches, niche suggestion. And there's a lot of different niches that came over here. And I was talking about my mindset. And this is important to understand. In talking about niches, when you're looking at things, like obviously dogs, fitness, cats, those are huge niches, right? And there are pros and cons to that. And the pro is going to be tons of products, tons of people, tons of money, tons of ideas going around that you can find and get inspired of, especially on the print-on-demand side. And, of course, the cons is potential saturation of products. That's more so on the drop shipping side, and potential competition. And then that all flips when it's to the smaller niches. And I'm not talking about small niches like 500,000 people. Right? These are going to be niches maybe under 10 million. Vegans, anime, muscle cars. These are just some of the suggestions you guys put in there. Still big enough to make a lot of money, but there's potentially less competition, right? And I don't think there's a right and wrong answer, really. I mean, there are other things to look into when you're considering a niche, but basically you want to be playing in either of those spaces. And the things that they have in common is that there's millions of people that are passionate about them, right? You don't need to go and look hard for people that are passionate about any of these subjects. They don't need to be massive 100 million person niches to make you a ton of money, right? So we're going to look into a couple different ones, and I think really the ones that I'm going to land on, and I'm going to see what you guys think about this thing. I have an interesting idea for the niches. We'll see what you guys think about it. But they're all going to be at least 5 million in size, right? And I forgot who asked about it. Donna, yeah, I found that number through Audience Insights, and that's about the only thing I use Audience Insights for anymore. Israel, yep, definitely going to be a replay for sure. James, why do you launch so many stores? Because it's too easy not to. I mean, there's such power in having a niche store, right? I'd rather have 10 niche stores than one big general store, right? I can make a lot more money in a niche store with the same dollar spent. So anytime I could build a niche store, I think that's the opportunity I look for. And I view it as kind of just basically I'm, launching a new business every single week. And I don't think there's any other business outside of Shopify or maybe affiliate stuff where you can do that on a weekly basis. Pietro, yeah, definitely put as many questions as you want. That's the question box right there. So, a lot of great suggestions in terms of niches, right? And, doing something, I want to do something that is, obviously big, right? Big enough so where we're not fishing for product ideas, where we're going to really be able to show all the different methods of product research and product sourcing. So some of the smaller niches I'm going to kind of throw out there. Some of the more general niches I'm also throwing out, right? Let me find an example of, so jewelry, for example, right? I guarantee we're going to sell jewelry products. I bet that, I already did some research, obviously, but, there are great jewelry products, but only when jewelry is specific to a niche, right? I don't want to just do jewelry in terms of like nice looking necklaces or whatever, right? So broad stuff like that I would throw out, right? Christianity niche, that's a great one, right? That's a huge one as well, right? Fashion niche, I'm going to throw out, right? Necklaces, I'm going to throw out. Bikinis, I'm going to throw out because that's not a passion niche, right? We want something passionate, right? We definitely want something passionate. Coffee is great, right? Beach life is great. Sports mom's great. Drones, who knows how big that is? We could look into that. See, jewelry, health, a little bit too broad, right? A little bit too broad on here. We want the more specific things, like golf's a great example, boxing is a great example, vegan is a great example. These are our niches that are still very big, still super passionate, right? And there's going to be a wide selection of products. And I think that's a key thing here, right? That's a key thing when it comes to doing this research. Yes, we want to go and use audience insights, and I'm going to show you the one thing that I go in here. Right, we want to come into here and we'd put in something like coffee. Right, and we see 45 million people in it, and that's really the only thing that's useful in audience insights. But when we're building a store, especially if we're going to build a combination dropshipping and print-on-demand store, we also have to use AliExpress as the basis of our niche research as well, because we don't want to go into a niche that doesn't have any good products. And cutting to the chase a little bit, we're definitely going to be looking for free plus shipping as well as full retail price, and then of course print-on-demand products to load our store with, right? So we need to make sure, especially if we're doing drop shipping items, we need to make sure that there are plenty of options to find. If there's only 2 or 3 products that we can find on AliExpress, that's just as bad as going to the Audience Insights page over here and seeing it say 200,000. Right? Not only do we need to have a lot of size, but we want to have product as well. Right? So we would just do a basic little search. But here's what I've basically been researching over the past 24, 36 hours, and this is what I think is going to be great, because I've had a lot of comments or requests from you guys, you being the members, of is it going to be general or is it going to be a niche store? And I'll tell you that I'm not at all a fan of general stores. I've said this over and over and over. Not a fan of the general stores here. What I want to definitely do is, though, focus on the power of niche while still kind of showing a couple different things. So what we're going to do is, I'm not even sure how to, I was thinking about this earlier, not sure how to categorize this niche, but it's going to be something like the dog niche, where we're going to have sub-breeds. Okay, but it's not going to be the dog niche. It's going to be something like wild animals / creatures / basically creatures that people love, right? And I don't want to say mythical creatures, because it's not only that, but things, like, for example, dragons, wolves, unicorns, mermaids, right? Tons of print-on-demand topics, especially for those mermaids and unicorn type things. I mean, we're talking about tons and tons of print-on-demand shirts that I've seen be very successful. On the dropshipping side, I've basically found all of those products as well, just in very basic searches. We're going to go real deep on that. But the reason why I think this is kind of like the dog niche is we're going to be able to have that combination of one overarching theme and then very specific sub-niches in there. So we're going to kind of have the best of both worlds, right? The way we're going to advertise it is definitely going to be on a niche basis, and that's what I'm going to lay out in terms of our testing. We'll probably be laying that out in our second live call when we actually start running our ads. So what do you guys think? Give me a 2 in the chat box if you guys are on board with that. In terms of that idea, we're going to be doing a combo. Cool. Give me a 1 if you're against that, and give me a reason why. I see a lot of 2s. I mean, I think there's a lot of good niches out there that we can do. I didn't want to do dogs. I didn't want to do cats. It's just too basic. And I think that, really, I have a lot of students that want to go into animal stores as well. So I think this is going to be the most relevant kind of example without just being the most boring dog example. And I hope we'll also find some pretty unique products as well. And like I said, I did do a little bit of research in a couple of these sub-niches. So I don't have any people against this, so that's great. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move forward with this. And just in case we didn't do this research, and I already did, but we would want to make sure any of these sub-niches are big enough to support just talking individually, support a store, right? Not in conjunction, but any of these sub-niches alone, right? Because we're running with this kind of sub-niche niche idea where it's kind of animal / creature store with sub-niches inside of them. All the sub-niches need to be big. For example, unicorns, right? 7 million people. Okay, 7 million people. Again, I'm not sure what to describe this as because unicorns are not real, right? Dragons, 6 million people, right? You see the number over here. And all I'm doing is just typing in the general thing in here. I'm going to show you how I do my targeting for all of these. We'll do that again in the next live thing right after we're set up. So you'll see how I do all the targeting and stuff like that. But this is just proving out the niche, right? What else was there? Mermaid, there's probably like 10 million here. Okay, 6 million. Wolves. Maybe it's wolf. 7 million there. Okay, so we're talking about huge niches here, right? Not hundreds of millions, but huge niches. And I'm seeing some comments on lost sound. Just reload the page if you guys are having that issue. I'm not sure. I have had pretty good results using Demio so far, so hopefully you guys continue to just reload the page if you have any sound issues there, or if you anticipate any. Either way, we're at the point of proving out the niche, right? And again, we haven't seen the number over here be anything smaller than 5-6 million. So that means that there's going to be tons and tons of people in the niche, and more importantly for me, it means that there's going to be tons of targeting options, right? When there's 5 or 6 million people, it's definitely not all in just one spot. Yeah, Kirk, I hear you. Yeah, okay, so with that being said, let me show you, or let me at least describe an example of a niche that would be a little bit too small, right? And I think that could be, really anything that we would get to. Basically, if you ask the question, would it be hard for you to find people that would be sharing this type of content on Facebook? That's kind of a too small of a niche, right? If we're talking about like a very specific breed of bird, right? That might be a little bit too. Too small, right? But you're not going to see like things like that. You're not going to see 5-6 million people. That's huge, right? 5-6 million people are great enough. Really, I think the absolute minimum would be 1 million, right? And typically, any of the niches that I've had success with, they've been at least 5 million in size. Larry says, would something like cooking work? Absolutely, cooking would definitely work. Now, my issue with cooking would be the types of products that would be available, right? We'd have to go and look at that, right? And so when I was thinking about some of these, niches, and I went to AliExpress as I was doing the research, right? As I was doing the research on there. And what I was basically just looking for, let's say I was going to do something like unicorn, right? I was just coming on unicorn, and I was going to go, first of all, the first thing I'll do is sort by orders. But I just wanted to see, were there a lot of products being purchased? Were there a lot of different options, right? I don't want to only find T-shirts right now. I find some cool hoodies, right? I find some plush here that has 1,000 orders, right? Various other items in here. I'll show you also some really cool terms to search for when we start doing the deep product research, but we're not there yet, right? We just want to prove that there are a lot of items out there, right? I'm going to look for some other people here, right? Found some cooler products here, some different products, right? Again, I'm not even going so far deep. I just want to make sure that it's not just like 5 of the same product in this niche, right? And we can find another one as well. Let's do mermaid, sort by orders, right? And of course, we want to stay away from anything infringing for sure, right? But there are tons of other things here that we're going to be able to look into. And again, not just one product, pages and pages of product here. And we're going to go way deeper in terms of product research, don't worry. But this is just basically proving a niche that is something is basically going to go worthwhile. Great. So really, and I don't want to make it any harder than that, when we're talking about a niche, you really only need to do or find 2 things, right? You want to find size, okay? Number's debatable, but I think you got to be over 1 million, right? Over 1 million, preferably over 5 million, right? And there's no bad number in terms of size, right? Just remember, some of the bigger niches, maybe some bigger upside, also potentially more competition, right? I'm talking about dogs, fitness, cats, etc. After that, just basically a very brief 10-second look at AliExpress. If you're going to be doing drop shipping, we definitely are, right? So you'd want to make sure that you can at least see a variety of products. You don't need to go any further than just knowing that there's a variety of products. And that's basically it, right? And of course, the overarching theme here is that people are passionate about the subject, right? I didn't do a search for, tax accounting. I didn't do a search for oil changes or going to the dentist, right? These are things that no one cares about. We want things that people are passionate about. And, you can probably go on your news feed and see, someone talking about, a dragon. I'm not even talking about Game of Thrones, but this is actually kind of a good timing for that, right? We're not talking about anything infringing, of course, just about what things people like. But we could probably play up that angle as well if we find some cool dragon-related products. But, you could find people sharing and talking about things about mermaids or unicorns or dragons or wolves or angels or whatever, right? Or basically the question that you ask is, can I find people talking about blank? And blank being whatever niche you want to look at. So Larry says, would cooking work? Well, can you find people talking about cooking on Facebook, right? You could probably find people sharing, maybe they made a home-cooked meal or something like that, right? You always see people taking pictures of food. So, yeah, I think that would probably work. George says, what would be your max ad budget besides before deciding a store will not pan out? I'm going to want to test at least 8 to 12 products, and each test is going to be $25. So at 12 tests, that would be $300. So we're talking about $300 minimum is what I would spend. There's no maximum really. I mean, if I didn't hit a winner at that part, I'm going to leave, and not necessarily a $10,000 winner, but something at least I could scale for a little bit. I definitely leave the niche. Now, there are cases where I might go over $300 if the data calls for it, and we'll run into those cases. There's going to be a lot of scenarios where, it's going to be stuff that it's just, we're going to look at it, and we're going to have to make a decision based on what, different data points will dictate. Right? And I think I'm going to do a great job of teaching that to you guys, and there really aren't that many data points to consider, but, it's going to be really just getting to a point, and you're going to see when we talk about scheduling here, it's basically doing the same stuff over and over and over and just reacting to the small little scenarios that pop up each week. Cool. So with that being said, with this niche chosen, we're going to set up the store, right? And we're going to set up the store. I'm going to show you every single portion of this setup. And, if you already have a store set up and running, this is going to be a little redundant, but just definitely still stay with me here, ask questions on anything that you come across. And I want to actually bring this up over here. This is a set of bookmarks that I have over here. And literally all these links right here, what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 links on the screen right now. These are all about, and these have everything to do with starting a new store. You could start an entire new store just with these links, and you'll never even pay $1 for anything that's on here, because we're going to be using extended free trials and free trial links to basically get our store up and running without even having a penny taken off of our credit card yet. So it's pretty awesome. I'll share all these links, of course, in the group, but this is the most important one in terms of getting that 10% off for a year and the 21-day free trial, shopify.com/Cener. And the only thing that I did create an email address. I just created shopifylive@gmail.com. I'm going to use that email address for this store, right? And we're going to go and you'll see every single piece of detail on the store, because we're going to name it right now and you're going to have access to it. We're going to buy the domain, and you're going to be able to follow along, obviously, through these webinars and just by logging in and taking a look at the store. So I'm going to come over here, and we'll call it, we'll figure out the store name later. Let's just call this, Cener Live. Let's keep it like that so we remember. Of course, we're going to get a .com domain. No one's ever going to see that Cener Live portion of it. We're just going to put that over here, and then we're going to go in and start entering our information over here, right? This doesn't matter. Okay. Putting in our information, right? Shopify's building our store in the background. This will be recorded again. I know that this is redundant for some people and brand new for others in here. So again, I'm going to go through every single step. You're going to be able to rewatch this over and over and over once the replay comes out, in order to actually go ahead and get your own store built and set up. And the first thing that I always do is customize the store first, and that means we need to pick a theme. Okay, so we're going to come over here and click Customize Theme. And the really cool thing here is we're going to really be able to get almost everything done without needing any outside help, right? I'm going to get a designer to build the logo and maybe some banners on the site. I'm not sure yet, but really we don't need anything else. And if you have no coding experience, if you have no design experience, if you have never looked inside of a back end of any type of online platform like Shopify or WordPress, it doesn't matter. Everything is going to be very intuitive here, and I'm going to walk you through each step. So first thing we're doing is visiting the theme store, because we want to get a better theme. They're going to give us and I'll show you what our site looks like right now. They're going to give us this basic debut theme, right? It's okay, but I'm not a huge fan of this, right? Definitely not a huge fan of this theme. There's much better ones out there. And once we go over to the theme store, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to look for the minimal theme. And by the way, Brooklyn, this is another good theme right here. And all the themes that I'm going to recommend are free, right? And the cool thing about these themes is not only are they free, but they're optimized for mobile. And when we do Facebook traffic, you're going to see literally about 85 to 90% of your traffic be mobile. Okay, so it's just a huge amount of mobile traffic that we absolutely need to account for, and we need to make sure that our site is fully set up for that. So these are the two that I'm going to pick between Brooklyn or Minimal. And Minimal to me is the best theme that's out there. Okay, we're going to go with the fashion style over here. Basically, there's very small differences between these two. Fashion style, and this is actually what it's going to look like on mobile. Okay, of course, we're going to get a nice logo. We're going to fully customize this theme, and we're going to come over here and publish this as our store's theme. Okay, so every time I make a new niche, do I make a new Shopify account? Larry, yes, definitely. Each store is going to be its own Shopify account. Okay, that's why it's so important to bookmark that link, shopify.com/Cener, because that's going to give you that 10% off for your stores. So we've published a minimal theme. I'll come over here and reload this site, and we're going to see, obviously, the layout has changed. Now it looks like a minimal theme, right? And we're going to now run through the customization, okay? Again, this is going to be recorded, so you guys can watch this over and over. But I don't want you to be intimidated by any of these sections. This is very, very easy, okay? And I'm going to go through each one. Okay, first of all, you have layout, okay? Enable wide layout or not. Okay, you'll see as I uncheck it, it changes to a more narrow layout. Here's the wide going back here. We're going to keep the wide layout, especially on mobile. It looks a little bit nicer. You have more screen real estate to showcase your products. Honestly, not a massive deal here. Okay, this is going to be the first thing that we customize. It's going to be the colors. Okay, this is where we're literally going to customize every portion of the site. And if you've ever seen any of my trainings, I say this is not rocket science. There's only one thing we need to do, right? We need to just basically go to Google, and we need to go and figure out, is there an existing color scheme for our niche? Okay, and again, we have a kind of a weird niche where it's a mix between, you know, I don't know if it's all mythical creatures. We have wolves in there and stuff like that, but I want to basically just go ahead and look and see, are there any themes here? Are there any colors, right? And kind of, I was initially thinking there might be some, you know, kind of dark grays and browns and blacks. Not really that much. A little bit of gray in here. Should take a look over here, I guess, and go to something like the wolves. Because I was thinking more so something like that. What we're not seeing, and sometimes there's no right or wrong answer in terms of themes, right? And obviously this is going to throw it off in terms of the colors, right? Unicorn. So I think we could it looks like, you know, we'd be safe. I would probably stay away from the more rainbowy colors. Right? I don't think that's the kind of the theme that we're going for there. But it looks like, you know, just especially on this page, we can go kind of all over the place in terms of colors. Doesn't look like there's a right or wrong answer here, right? Now, one more thing that we need to think about, what type of customer might we find consistently coming to our store, right? What type of messaging are they going to be used to, right? And I think that means competition, right? What are they currently seeing? So let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can find any type of products that are, or other stores that are kind of similar to what we're looking for, right? How about something like Kirk says purple and gold. I could see that. Let's see, what do we have here? Okay, we got a lot of kind of just black, white. Not necessarily the right one here. So again, no. Actually, we've seen another selection of red and gold here. Yeah. So I think that there's really we're gonna have. Yeah. Again, this is what I was anticipating. This kind of beige, gray type of stuff. So we can actually play around. We're gonna see what's gonna look best with our theme. Again, I don't think there's any right or wrong answer here. So we're gonna be able to kind of go through, and as we customize, figure out what's gonna work best for this section. And we have the top bar background up here, and we could play around. Let's say we wanted to make it red, right? We can go and mimic that dark red that we saw on another page. Here we go. So it looks okay, right? And you see this over here. This is our hex code, our color code. I'm going to copy this. We might go with this because I'm going to implement the same red on the footer background as well. I want to take a look at how that looks down here. You know, I'm not a massive fan of this. Let me try. I want to try that gray that I was originally thinking, like a dark gray. Okay, I'm liking that a little bit better. So I'm going to move forward with this one. We're going to keep going on in terms of customizing this. Just adding the lines and borders. You see a lot of lines in this theme. And it's really going to be the same thing over and over and over when you're customizing your store. There's only so many things that you can customize given the Shopify layout, right? And we're going to be able to take care of this whole homepage just through our customization today. Of course, we're going to replace that with a professional logo. Got to look in terms of secondary colors and buttons over here. Since we implemented gray across, we got a nice little red over here. We could look for some other darker colors that we were thinking. I'm liking a blue here. Typically for buttons, I'm going blue, I'm going green, right? These are the kind of positive conversion type buttons that you're typically seeing, right? And I think this is close to that Shopify blue. There we go. Okay, George says, is there a better color combination to distinguish a store from the competition? Well, we'll definitely find that out through testing, right? We can test different colors, different messaging that varies from the competition. But when I'm entering a niche, I think it's very important to actually make sure that we're on point, right? We want to make sure, and I'm customizing the colors here of the font to make sure that they're readable. We want to make sure that we're on point, so then if there already are people that are into this niche and we do a good job of targeting them, right, we want them to immediately get to our site and not question the legitimacy of our brand inside of this niche, right? Because the niche already exists, we're new to it. We want to just kind of seamlessly enter, right? So we could definitely go ahead and establish a different brand, kind of a unique branding in there. But I think that's something more so that we would test after we go through proving the niche. And really, there's no doubt you're going to see when we go through the process. There's only really, in my opinion, two hard parts of this business, right? First of all, getting set up is easy. Or we're doing this right now. The hard parts are proving out a niche, right? Making sure that you are in the right niche and yet you're reaching the right people in terms of matching up your product to customer, right? That's number one. And then number two is scaling the ads, right? So basically going from proving that you can sell to the niche and then making it so you're not just making a couple of inconsistent sales here or there. Right, everything else is going to be repetitive, right? Customizing the store, right? Where we're picking a color scheme that potentially resonates with the customers that we're bringing to the site. We're just trying to we're trying to optimize our chances for succeeding at those two hard points. One, matching up the product customer. So by customizing the site, we're making it, and this is why niche is such a big deal, right? We're customizing the site to give our chance a better, or to increase our chance of conversion. Right, so when people come to the site, if it's a general store where they have fishing products and then they have dresses and then they have bikinis and then they have a dragon T-shirt, right? That doesn't resonate as much as a site that's all about in this case mythical creatures or fantastic beasts or whatever, right? So that's why again we're customizing over here. That's why everything is kind of leading into, and I'm going to go over here and switch the typography here. I love using avant-garde as my font. But that's why really the overall idea of what we're doing here in terms of customizing for niche to increase the conversion rate, right? A niche site versus a general site, all things being equal, a niche site should have a higher conversion rate even with these same exact products, right? And I think that should answer anyone's worry about why should we do general versus niche, right? You're going to convert at a higher rate. Okay, so we're going to move on. Next thing over here, we need to build a Facebook page, right? So I'm going to come over into Facebook.com/page. We'll come and create a page, and I come over here and create it under brand or products, and I often go to website because you could go to clothing or website. It doesn't really matter. We're going to have more than clothing on here, so I'm going to put that on here. Now here's the thing: we don't know our page name yet, and we don't even know our store name yet. And I guess there's no better time than now. Actually, what I want to do is put it up to open it up for suggestions. Okay, so use the chat box right now. Let me know when we need to pick a theme. We need to pick a store name, and we don't need to finalize it today. But we're definitely going to get a logo designer on here to start creating a name. But post some names in the chat box that you think might work for this store. Again, the overall niche is kind of something like wild animals or mythical creatures or like those types of kind of animals that have some sort of supernatural thing about them, whether they're real or not. Wolves are real, dragons obviously are not. They're all going to fit into this same kind of bucket. We need some names for the store, and that's what's going to be sent over to our logo designer. Right now, when we build our fan page, there's two determinations to make. We can make a page that is just simply something like I love X, for example, I love dragons, or we could do something like whatever your store name is. And I typically like to do something like I love blank, or blank lovers, or blank fan club, whatever. I think that resonates more, unless you have a really great store name that completely resonates with the niche. So it's going to be, again, dependent on what store name we're going to get here. Now, if we were going to do the I love blank strategy, we would obviously have a page for each of our sub-niches, right? So we would have something like I love dragons, and then we'd have something like unicorn fan club, or whatever, right? So I see some cool suggestions in there. I'll let you guys keep putting some suggestions in there. We'll come back to finishing off the fan page when we get back to creating the logo section over here. In terms of social media also, I'm really not, it doesn't matter to me about Instagram, Snapchat, Tumblr, YouTube, Pinterest. At the early stages, you want to basically just have Facebook. If you're going to focus on Instagram, definitely add Instagram as well. But at the very least, you need to show Facebook. And I think here's the reason. It's not about people coming and following you or liking you on the page. It's all about trust, right? When we go ahead and add, and I'll update this when we have our own fan page, but when we add this into our theme, right, and it saves over here, I'm going to come back and reload this. You come down here, scrolling to the bottom, right, we have our Facebook icon down here linking to our page. Now, the thing is, this builds trust, right? It's not about them following you. It's about saying, okay, if there's a problem, they're on Facebook, and I'm speaking as the customer, right? Oh, this company is on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. So if there's any issue, at least I know I could reach them there, right? And that's huge, right? That's really valuable in terms of a conversion standpoint, right? So we're going to finish that off once we figure out the logo. Okay, moving forward after social media, coming down here onto the checkout again, we're going to need to come back here because we're going to upload our custom logo right into the section. Now, with the checkout page, we have very little that we can customize. We could add a logo, we could basically set the positioning, and that's about it. We can change the fonts and the colors. We can't edit any of the content or text on the actual page here, right? Reason is Shopify controls the checkout page, and that's a great thing for you, right? We don't want to have control over the checkout page in terms of things like that because that puts responsibility on us in terms of things like PCIe compliance, SSL security, basically the security of the customer's credit card. And Shopify, we want to put that trust in there. So make sure that you're customizing the checkout logo here. We're going to come back to this when we have a logo. We'll upload this, but this is where you're going to do it, and that's the only thing you're going to be doing in terms of checkout. Okay, so that's more so just the kind of general settings here for the theme. Right, we're going to do most of the heavy lifting on the home page and the product pages. Okay, so let's do the home page. We're going to come over here to header again, and we have the logo section right up here. Okay, right now obviously it says Cener Live. We're going to be changing that once we nail down a name. Once we have a name, we'll be able to change this inside of settings, but really what we're going to want to come back to is when we have a logo, we're going to come back to it over here, and we're going to actually upload our logo into this section. Okay, and we can put anything in here. Right, we'll just come over and upload our logo. I'll just put a little holding thing right now. Actually, I'll just put my logo in here just for the time being to make sure that we remember to change it. And we could change the width over here. I typically, in the minimal theme, it's going to look best at about 200 to 250 pixels in width. It's going to give you a nice tight header section over here. It's going to look real good on mobile. In fact, you could take a look how the site looks on mobile at any time if you just shrink down the box by clicking this button. Right, here's desktop. And here's mobile. And remember, 85% of your traffic is going to be looking at the site in this capacity. All right, so you see over here, we're going to want to have a little bit bigger of a logo so it fills up the space. Okay, so we could even try doing that over here. All right, there you go. Okay, so now it actually fills up the space on mobile. Don't forget to be previewing it not only on the full widescreen on mobile as well. It's that important. Okay, so we're continuing on over here. We have our menu section over here. We'll build the navigation later on. We have an announcement bar. We come up over here. We could do something like this. Free shipping on orders over $100, for example, right? I mean, we don't have to do that, but as we save it, you see it's going to be placed right up here in the top bar. So it's a great place for promotions, right? Anything like that. And I'm laughing at some of the names that you guys have been posting in the chat box. So we have a little header announcement section up here. We're not going to use anything on it right now. And as you see, as we remove it, the search box is going to pop back over there. Actually, it doesn't do that anymore, but it used to move back over here. Either way, it's not going to break the section. It's not going to break your layout. All you need to do is you can show it or not. There you go. I actually forgot to uncheck that box. There you go. So now we have the search box back there. So either way, have an announcement or not. If you have a promotion, it's a quick little place to come right over here. Let's say you want to do a flash sale, everything 50% off, or whatever it is. Make the announcement right over there. Okay. Now we're going to go into the slideshow section right over here. Okay. And we have all of the slides here. As you see, there's actually little arrows that click through here. And, I think it's nice in terms of it looks cool with a slider. But every single time on all my stores, what I'm doing, delete, right? Got to delete over here as well. Delete. I just want one powerful slide. I want one powerful image here. Okay, and I want this image to completely resonate with my niche. Okay, so we come over here. You see, we can actually upload an image from the library. Right, where are we going to get an image for our store? And by the way, what we cannot do, we can't just go to Google Images. We can't just go and just take something. Right, that's not okay. That's just basically not okay. We can't do it, or we don't have the rights to do it, whatever. But what we were doing is using sites like unsplash.com or pexels.com or pixabay.com. And these are basically free stock image sites. And they literally tell you right over here, beautiful free photos. I think this one says best free stock photos in one place, right? They all do the same thing. They give you free stock imagery to use on any type of site, even a store, right? You even get you're able to use this for all commercial rights. Do this whatever you want. Make it as your banner, or a section of your home page, or use it on Instagram, whatever. Right? These images are free to use. So we'd want to try random things here. Not sure what we'd want to actually come on as the home page, and we basically just scroll through here, taking a look for different terms that are going to be related to our site. So I'll just run through. We could do this one. Okay, and I guess I'll give a last call for ideas for the store name, and then I'll put a couple of them up to vote, and we can vote on the store name, and then I'll send that off to a designer to get our designer coming back. Okay, I mean, something like this stands out to me immediately because it's a really strong image. It's got some crazy contrast in terms of the colors, and typically what you want to have on this thing is just something that's going to catch people's attention, and really it's about the niche feel. When people land on the site, right, we're not going to put this little cartoon dragon on our homepage. We're not going to put this lizard on our homepage, but this kind of resonates with the feeling of what we're trying to showcase, right? We want to showcase this idea that we have some really unique items here if you are into dragons and or the bigger overall idea, I guess, of these mythical or kind of fantastic creatures, right? Still got to nail down exactly how to describe this niche, but I think we're all on the same page in terms of where we're going for it. So again, not a lot of great selection here, right? I mean, stuff like this doesn't exactly resonate, right? This a little bit closer, but not really, right? We want something that's really going to resonate. Let's see what we got over here in terms of this one. I mean, I think this is pretty cool as well, this statue. I could see that being all right. Let's try. Maybe we might get some better imagery with actually real things. Try wolves. Okay. What do we got here for wolves? So these are pretty good, right? If we want to go down that route. Nice little trick in terms of looking for photos. Anytime you can have a subject actually looking at the user or at the customer, right, then that's a really strong thing. Not exactly looking. This one's kind of looking, right? You got the little wolf gaze there. So that's kind of an interesting idea to go with. I don't think we had that with the dragon, considering it was, I think, a statue, right? Yeah. So, we got a couple options right now. Let's try another search term over here. Okay, these are pretty cool, right? Really cool. Again, we're looking for something intriguing, right? We're looking to play off that idea of like mythical and really crazy. That's a pretty nice background. Now, one thing that I look for in terms of imagery, and these have all fit that template. We want it to be wider than tall, right? And again, you see our site right here. We're trying to fit it in this section, right? This is a big, long rectangle. Okay, so the site will take any height. It doesn't have to be a specific height, but you want to find basically a full width. So it's about 1,200 pixels, right? So basically any of these stock imagery in terms of their full size will be that size. Okay, so I'm going to put it between, okay, give me a 1 in the chat box for this gray wolf snow image, or give me a 2 in the chat box for this dragon image, right? 1 for the wolf, 2 for the dragon. The reason why I'm selecting the wolf for my vote is that it's actually meeting our gray color scheme, but I mean, that could always be changed. Let's see. 1, it's pretty close. Let's see. Okay, looks like it's pretty close, but it looks like 1s have won it out. Let me do a quick count. Yeah, all right. So 1's got about 2/3 of it looks like. And we could definitely split test this. We could change this later on. Maybe we'll also change this depending on what products we want to lead with in terms of kind of testing those sub niches. But I think either of these images really meet our requirements. They obviously resonate with our niche. They're going to tell our customers that they're in the right place as soon as they land on our website, and they're just intriguing, right? I think that's the kind of the biggest thing. So I'm going to go and download this image, right-click, save image as, and I'll just download this to my little folder here that I have for the store. Okay. And we'll come back over here into our store, and we're going to upload this image into our background. And let's see, where is it? Okay, uploading the image now. It's going to simply replace this little holding image with the wolf image in the in the mountains with all those cool clouds. And I think actually when I look at it now, it's starting to be obvious in terms of what our color scheme could be for this site. Right. In fact, if you look up here, I think that the grays kind of match. We might want to go a little bit lighter on the gray. So I'm actually going to come back to general settings. Just now I'm updating this. And again, I'm no graphic designer, but it's pretty easy for me to see. I can match the grays a little bit better. Right. Make it a little bit lighter, just so I get more of that look, matching the background. And I'm just going to replace any other time I see the gray with that same gray. This is just basic design theory, right? If we're going to be using one shade of gray, we're going to use it throughout. So we've updated that. Okay, I have a little bit different color scheme now, and it's looking pretty cool, right? I think that if you land on this site, you're gonna, especially when we have a nice logo that doesn't say Cener Mastermind, I think you're gonna have a good idea of what's going on in there. So, okay, great. Well, let's do another vote now in terms of actually let's finish off the homepage. Okay, featured collection is going to be something where we're going to basically have a category. Collections are just categories on Shopify of what we want to feature on here. Now, when we get started. Actually, a couple things, right? First of all, because of the fact that we have basically a niche sub-niche store, we are going to want to have multiple featured collections on the homepage, right? In fact, we're going to want to have something like, and we'll change this. Well, actually, we could do it right now. We want to have collections for each of our sub-niches on the homepage. So I'm going to come, and this is under products and collections in our back end. I'm going to just set two new collections real quick. I'm going to call one Dragons. Actually, I'm going to call it Dragon. And I'll set the rule up for it later. And then I'll create another collection. I'll call it Wolf. And we'll set the rules up for it later. So now that these are back, I can reload this page. And what I want to do is create multiple featured sections on the home page. So the first one I'm going to set for featured Dragon products. Okay, and you see it's going to show 4 products. There's going to be one row of product on there. Basically, it's just going to be 4 featured Dragon products for that sub-niche. Okay, now, again, this is specific to the fact that we have a niche sub-niche store. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add a section. It's going to be a featured collection. Okay, we're going to add it. Okay, I'm going to call it featured Wolf products. I'm going to change the collection to Wolf. I'm going to set it to be 4 so it looks the same as the other section. Okay, and now scrolling back up to our site, you see we have featured Dragon products, we have featured Wolf products. We're going to fill both of those up. And in fact, we might change these depending on what products we find first. I did a lot more research on wolves and dragons last night, but we're going to find maybe potentially other products for mermaids, unicorns. We would add a section for that as well. Okay. Of course, we're going to also set this up inside our menu up here. We'll probably set a drop-down menu, something like our store, and then a drop-down menu with different collections: Wolf collection, Dragon collection, etc. Okay. Now, I want to show something controversial here. Okay. Here's the About Us section. Right. About Us. I'm deleting it. Right? I'm no second thoughts here. A lot of people talk about having an About Us page. I truly think that unless you have something great to say, right? Unless you have, and I don't mean a story like I love wolves, so I started a wolf store, right? I mean, if you have some crazy story like you lived with the wolves for 20 years, then go ahead and write that. But if you don't have something awesome to say, I want you to delete the section, right? You're not going to be able to make increased conversion with a very basic or an unprofessional About Us page, or an About Us page that makes it look like you're a one-person company, right? That doesn't increase people's trust of your brand. Right, so I really truly believe we'd want to delete it from the home page rather than have something that is just going to say I love wolves, and we're using print on demand. I mean, no one knows what that is, right? I mean, we just want to basically make ourselves seamlessly enter this niche, right? We don't want anyone to say, oh, this is a brand new store. We want them to say, oh, this is a great place for me to visit because I love dragons or I love wolves, and this site clearly loves wolves as well. So I'm in the right place, right? That's the feeling that we want. Okay, a couple more things. Homepage. We got our footer navigation here. We're going to build that in the navigation section. We have our social media links. Of course, we're going to update that later. And we have our newsletter section. We're going to hook that up with MailChimp. MailChimp is free for the first 2,000 emails, so it doesn't make sense to use anything else. It's just free for us to literally use it right now. So we're going to implement that as well when we get to the apps section here. But a couple more things that we need to see, and we need to edit the product page, right? But we can't edit the product page because we don't have any products. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick, and this is I think this is annoying that they make you do this, but we're going to go to products, and I'm just literally going to add a test product really quickly. It doesn't even matter what happens. I'm literally just calling it test, and I'm going to save it because now I need to continue to customize my home page, or not necessarily my home page, but I need to customize my product page. Okay, and actually I forgot to do one thing. I need to add this to the Dragon collection so I could actually see it on the home page. I want to see this product on the home page. First of all, I want to see how a product is shown on the home page, and two, so I can click into it and see what the product page looks like, right? So here you go. Obviously, there's no image here, so we're just going to put this over here. And maybe I'll just come and add a random image just so we have something to look at for this product. I'm going to delete this product later on. This doesn't matter. It's just for testing in here. Okay. So we're looking at our product page now. And we see a couple different things. More importantly, we see the product page option box now. So we need to be on the product page in order to get to these settings. So a couple of different things that we need to make sure are set up. Show product vendor, we're going to turn that off. You see it says test, and now it says Cener Live being the vendor. We don't need to show the vendor. There's really no reason to. And in fact, if you use custom cat, the vendor is going to say custom cat. We don't want to show that. Okay. Show quantity selector, this is already enabled by default. Make sure that this is checked, though. I'm not sure why it wasn't checked, but it definitely should be checked here. Obviously, you want them to be able to have the options for controlling quantity. Okay. Thumbnails, for me, always below the image. Okay, this is basically in print on demand when there's multiple variants, like different colors, they'll be shown underneath here. Okay, show a tab next to your product description. This is optional. I like keeping this off because I'm going to basically have a couple different things in here when we start talking about entering product descriptions. Okay, tab content, we don't need this. Enable related products, absolutely, right? This is why the minimal theme is so good right out of the box. It has related products, and once we start having more products in these collections, right, we categorize this in the Dragon collection. If we had another product in the Dragon collection, it would also show over here. It would say related products, and it would automatically show that. And by the way, this is the simplest form of upselling or cross-selling, just having related products on your page. Okay, a couple things over here under the related products, just options. Show vendor, we're keeping that off. Show sale circle, we'll turn that on. Basically, if there's a sale, it'll have a little circle over it that says sale. Just a nice little way to call attention to it. Okay, we're going to save it. Okay, and that's the product page setting there. Okay. So when we have basically our store setup, you see that there's really only three things to do. We set up our general settings, we set up our home page section, and then we set up our product page section. Okay? Not rocket science, guys. For some of you, again, this is super repetitive. For others, it's the first time seeing it. The main thing to keep in mind is that this is not the hard part, right? This is not the hard part. You do not need to have the prettiest website in the world, right? Your website definitely needs to be trustworthy. Right, it needs to be professional, but it doesn't need to win an award for coolest JavaScript or best homepage photo slideshow. Right, it's not about that. It's about having it very easy to understand, easy to navigate, easy to find the products, and more importantly, resonate with the niche. Right, and I think we did a good job of getting ourselves set up for that. Right, and once we have some product, once we have a logo in there, it's going to start looking real good. Okay, so a couple more things to customize. Again, in the online store. The next thing we want to do is come and do domains. Okay, we don't have a name yet. We're going to figure out that name before the end of this, and then we're going to buy a domain, and we're going to get a logo designed. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Next thing, online store and preferences. Okay, this is important. Okay, of course, we're going to remove our password for the storefront once we're ready. And by the way, let's just do a quick reload of our store. This is what it looked like, maybe 30 minutes ago. And now we're reloading here. Obviously, we're going to have a different logo. Right, we have a really strong banner image, and obviously these are just holding products, right? But we're moving ready into the spot where we're going to have a nice, probably gray, black logo coming up here. We're going to have this banner, and we're going to have some niche-related products as well. So coming over here, entering our title, coming back to this once we generate that, Google Analytics, we're going to have to come back to that as well. Once we get a domain, we'll set up Google Analytics. Next, we come over here into Facebook Pixel. So this is going into our Facebook ads account. Okay, and I think I was over here doing some research over here. Let me go back to Ads Manager. This is a brand new ads account. Nothing in here. Go over to the Pixel. No info in the Pixel. I'm going to come over and copy and paste my Pixel ID. So this is important for everyone who's doing this for the first time. Let me just kind of go through this one more time. You're inside your Ads Manager account. Okay, Ads Manager account, and we're coming over and we're going to do Pixels on the main menu. We're going to find in the top right corner, we're going to go ahead and grab our Pixel ID right here. Copying that, coming back to Shopify, and we're pasting that in, right? If you thought there was anything challenging about the Facebook Pixel setup, I just showed you the entire setup. We're already done. All you guys do is copy and paste it, okay? Nothing to be intimidated by. Very, very easy, very important, obviously, because this Pixel is going to basically power our entire store. Okay, we'll come over here and enable or disable this password later on. So we'll have to come back to this and actually change the homepage title and Google Analytics when we get a domain. Okay, so we're going to continue over here. We'll come back to domains. We're going to continue on to settings now, and I'll take a quick break here. Let me know if you guys have any questions whatsoever. Make sure you're taking advantage of this question box over here. If you guys have any questions, post them now. We'll do a big question and answer at the end as well, of course, but we're basically just running through this, making sure our store is ready to run traffic to. How many hours a day are we going to be putting into this business consistently? It could be something like 45 minutes a day in terms of work once you're really kind of used to the process of basically implementing our schedule, right? And it's going to be obviously determined each different day. There's really 2 to 3 days of a week that are heavy. There's going to be about 5 days of the week that are light. Light days being just managing your ads, right? Doing product research, doing customer service. That could take you 45 minutes, maybe an hour. On some of the heavier days, it's going to take you a couple hours, doing product launching, doing the ads, ad imagery, doing the targeting, etc., scaling, of course. But really not a heavy business whatsoever in terms of time commitment. So we're over here under settings, right? We're going to go and look under general, okay? And obviously store name, we're going to come over here. But we need to also fill in our information here, right? Super important. So we're going to come over here and just enter in all the information here, making sure you're either putting your personal or your business name on here. Now, once you start making sales, Shopify is definitely going to come and verify all this information. So if you're using any type of fake information, make sure that you absolutely don't do that. I mean, you don't want to have a store that's working and then all of a sudden they shut you down. Okay, so we're going to enable Shopify payments. We have PayPal set up, right? PayPal set up right out of the box. I don't need to do anything right now. PayPal is already set up. Hey, can everyone see this again? Looked like the webinar refreshed. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you can see my Shopify payments screen real quick. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you can see my Shopify payments screen. So I want to make sure that everyone can see this. Okay. So I don't think we're frozen anymore, right? You guys can see the payments page now, and we're going to continue customizing or setting up. The only thing that we need to basically look at on this page is we're going to be implementing Shopify payments and PayPal. Now, there are some people that might not be able to have Shopify payments. What do you do? Okay. Well, first of all, you should definitely be able to have PayPal. Every store, pretty much almost every country, can use PayPal. So PayPal would be a great one to add on here. Shopify Payments is powered by Stripe. So if you can't get Shopify Payments, you might be able to get Stripe. Okay, Stripe.com, great network to get. There's also a thing called Stripe Atlas, where Stripe actually sets you up with a U.S. bank account and U.S. business. So you'd be able to actually run everything through a U.S. account if that's going to be easier. But a lot of countries can work with Stripe as well. There's also authorize.net. That's another good one. Braintree is okay. 2Checkout. A lot of international people use 2Checkout to use the payment gateway, and you'd find that over here under additional payment gateways. There's all these other options out here. Coinbase, if you wanted to do Bitcoin, right? So there's other different payment methods, but Shopify Payments and PayPal are the two biggest ones, right? Ben says, any things I need to look out for in the UK? You should definitely be able to get Shopify Payments in the UK if you get a US dollar bank account. I have a lot of students that are in the UK. All they have to do is get a US dollar bank account. You can get that in the UK. Once you have that, you'll be able to set everything up with US dollars and use that Shopify Payments. But if not, you could definitely use Stripe from the UK, right? So you just be able to implement Stripe through this. It's different than Shopify Payments, right? Just using Stripe specific. But Ben, I know for a fact you're definitely going to use PayPal no matter what. Okay. So this is going to have some of my personal information on here, so I'm going to fill this out actually off camera, but we'll have this set up for sure to make sure that this is going to be able to accept payment. Coming over here under checkout now. Okay, a couple things that we want to do here. Setting accounts to optional, right? And this is basically just for guest checkout, right? Not everyone wants to create an account for checkout, so they'll create this little guest checkout or the optional checkout. They can create an account. We always want people to give us information if they want to, but otherwise it's going to speed up checkout, increase conversion by setting it up to accounts are optional. I missed this question. Jay says, can you use a personal PayPal account or do you need business? You could certainly use personal. It's going to basically work the same way, but I wouldn't see why you wouldn't want to have a business account. It doesn't cost anything extra, and you could just convert your personal account into a business account at any time with PayPal. So, I recommend having a business account on there, especially if you have an LLC set up or something like that. Just have it, directly connected that way. So, moving forward here on checkout, we're going to keep accounts optional, and now we're going to come down here. We can basically scroll through all these steps over here, and we're going to go to these pages over here, and these are part of the required pages that you need to have on your site. And there's going to be, I call them 5 required pages that every store must have. Okay, 3 of them you're looking at right now. Refund policy, privacy policy, terms of service. And literally all I did was click generate, and I'm going to save. Okay, so what we did is just generate these pages. What we need to do is actually edit them to make sense, and we need to create the actual pages on our store. Okay, so in a new tab, I'm going to open up the online store section. And in online store, I'm going to go to pages. Okay, and there are no pages here because we haven't created any. I'm going to go and create a page, right? Create one page, and I'm going to call it Terms of Service. Now, Terms of Service, refund policy, and privacy policy, you absolutely have to have those on every single site. Reason being, it's part of basically any paid advertising network, for example, Facebook. It's part of their requirements that you have these pages on your site. Okay, privacy policy, Terms of Service, return policy. You just have to have them. Right. So all I did was copy and paste the content that Shopify generated into a page, a new page. I named it Terms of Service, and I saved it. Okay, now I'm going to go over here and click Create Another Page. Now I'm going to do the same thing for privacy policy. Okay, coming back over here, I'm simply copying privacy policy and pasting it directly into this page. Okay, we got that all. And now we're going to do this one more time. We're going to do return policy. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is take this entire thing and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to move it over here. Now, a lot of this stuff over here doesn't make any sense. It even talks about, physical products, talks about, look at this, CDs, VHS, right? I mean, this doesn't make sense. It's not applicable to our business. So basically I'm deleting everything except everything right over to this part right here. Okay, so return policy, it's up to you, right? You could have a 14-day, you could have a 30-day policy, you could have a 60-day policy, you could have a 360-day policy. I believe a 30-day policy is fair. I'm just in the business to be fair here. I don't want to, give too lenient of a policy. I don't want to give no policy at all in terms of not accepting refunds. So I do 30-day policy again. I think anything lower than 14 days is a little bit shady, right? And you just don't want to risk hurting your conversion rate over that. So I think 30-day policy is a fair policy for sure. Okay. Now here's what I always add. Okay, and the language can change. Obviously, it doesn't have to be this exact terminology. But the thing is, I don't want anyone to return packages without alerting me. Mostly because they might not have the proper return address. things are getting drop shipped, things are getting sent from print on demand, right? There's going to be tons of different addresses that they may think to return to. So we need to control this, and we do that with a return merchandise authorization, basically known as an RMA, right? And the idea here is that please do not return any merchandise before contacting us and receiving a return Okay, so this is just basically protection in there for them to not just blatantly, or not blatantly, but without contacting you, return items. Specifically, just looking at the return address on the label and saying, how am I going to return this from China if it's a drop shipped item, right? So we want to basically just have this in there. This is also going to make it, again, we don't want to make it hard for people to return things, but we don't want to make it super easy where they just, put return to sender on the envelope, right? I mean, we need to actually have things itemized, organized. We can't just accept every single return that people want to get. It depends on the situation, right? So creating a return merchandise authorization and then hiding the return address until they get that return authorization is basically the way to organize this. This is going to really cut down significantly on your customer service, right? So we're going to come over here and save that page. Now, because we changed this, I'm just going to copy this and come back to our refund policy over here. I'm going to delete everything that's in this box and save out the updated refund policy. Okay. Kirk says returns really only apply to drop shipping. Yes, I mean, the way that I'll do it, basically in the return process for the RMA for a drop shipped item, for a t-shirt print on demand item, I would typically tell them to just donate the item. It really depends on what you can collect the shirts and you're not going to be able to resell them since they're print on demand. But you could do whatever you want with the returns. For drop ship items, you could have them return the items if you'd want. Then you could fulfill them yourself instead of fulfilling them through drop shipping. As long as the item is still in good condition and, according to our return policy, it must be to receive. Okay, but really the main thing here is just, making it fair, right? Because a poor return policy is going to hurt your conversion rate. Okay, so that's all there is to it for the settings. Kate says, who pays shipping on returns? That's a great question. Typically, I'll make the customer pay for return shipping if it's their fault. For example, they ordered the wrong item, they ordered the wrong size, whatever. Now, if they ordered a small and I sent them a large, then that's my fault. And then, return shipping, I'd have to provide a label to them. Typically, what I'll do is just refund or credit them the amount if that's easier. Okay, always offer to, and this is this is customer service 101, really, but you'd want to offer customer credit rather than cash in your progression for customer service. We'll see what happens with customer service. We're going to have to answer customer questions. I'll definitely answer some of them live once we start getting some. Next is shipping. Okay, shipping, something that a lot of people get caught up on. This is all about shipping by weight. Okay, shipping by weight. This is the key here. Okay, you don't want to ship by calculated whatever. You don't want to ship by zip code, or you don't want to ship by dollar amount. You need to ship by weight. And here's the key to remember. We don't care what the weight of the product is. We're simply using weights to effectively manipulate the Shopify shipping rate system to create different rates depending on the products that we have, considering we're going to have tons of different product types, most notably print on demand, drop shipping retail, and drop shipping free plus shipping. Okay, we need to have different rates for all of that. And right out of the box, we have these USPS rates for domestic. We don't care about them. We need to delete them immediately. Okay, we're going to come down here. You have calculated rates, and we're just simply going to delete it. Right? We have weight-based rates over here, and this is what we need to set up. Okay, and we can call them all standard shipping. And in fact, the first thing that we have is free shipping. Right, and this is again by weight. Right, we're going to manipulate the product weights to match up with whatever shipping rates we want. And remember that the product weight is meaningless because all of these products we're never touching, right? We're not touching a drop ship product, we're not touching a free plus shipping product, and we're not touching a print on demand product. So it does not matter, right? We're going to come over here and start setting up the weights, and I've built these rates to basically accommodate all the different styles of shipping, product sourcing that we could ever imagine, okay? Obviously, free shipping is going to be anything that weighs 0 pounds to 0 pounds, okay? And remember, these rates, setting these rates up is only 50% of the thing, 50% of the work here. The other 50% is actually setting our product to match up with the weights. Let's say we wanted to have a product be free shipping. Well, all we need to do is set the product weight to be 0, right? And if the product weight is 0, then the free shipping rate will come up because it's going to come over here and Shopify is going to go and ask, hey, what is the actual weight of the product? And it's going to go look at it. It's going to say, okay, this product is 0. Okay, it's going to look up the shipping range for things that weigh between 0 pounds and 0 pounds. And the rate is $0. So this is how it's going to work. And you're going to see all of the different shipping rates that we're going to implement. There's actually a lot of them. All right, there's actually a lot of them in here. And the reason is we want to be very granular with our shipping. We want to make sure that we're fully controlling the shipping rates, right? And this is something, this is a graphic that I had created. I think a boot camper actually created this. And this is the shipping rates that we use. I'm going to implement this. You see that we built the first one right here, free shipping, $0, right? Now we're going to start implementing our retail product shipping. Our retail product shipping is starting at 0.1 pounds. Let's say, for example, we sell a T-shirt, right? $4.95 for the T-shirt, right? Let's say we sell 2 T-shirts, $5.95, 3 T-shirts, $6.95, 4 T-shirts, $7.95, etc., etc. Right? Let's say we sell a free plus shipping product. That's where we're over here at 0.5 pounds, right? And we could adjust these numbers accordingly, right? We could adjust the numbers depending on what shipping rates we want to go after. I mean, they're pretty set in stone for print on demand, right? It's going to be $3.95 is our cost plus an extra $1.50 per. So we're basically going to profit about $1 every single time with print on demand retail rates. It's for the free plus shipping rates that we can change. I like going after $9.99 for free plus shipping. I'm typically going after the most expensive free plus shipping products, but it's going to depend on what we find, right? We might want to change this to $6.99, $7.99, $8.99, $8.50, $9. We could try different things. And in fact, my coaching student last month, a $1 change in our free plus shipping product basically lit the store on fire. I mean, we were scaling tremendously after that. It was an amazing change. It was only a $1 change, but it really turned us into we were basically struggling to break even. Then we were scaling, basically the next day. So we're going to test out all these different things if we don't find success. But I always go after $9.99 first for free plus shipping. Okay. So I'm going to set up these rates, and you're going to see me set them up. And I'm going to share this image for sure inside of the group. And I'm not going to set all of them up right now, just for the sake of not boring you to death. But don't forget, we have to set up every single one of these rates. So I'll just do a couple just so you understand. Now, the thing about thing that we want to do for international, right? I'm setting these up, you see, for domestic, for United States right now. And it doesn't matter where you're from. I believe that you should be advertising to the United States first. It's going to have the biggest selection of customers, right? You see the next one, I'm doing 0.2 to 0.2. And I'm just following the rules that I've set up here in my shipping. And again, this is going to work for print on demand, free shipping, drop shipping, and free plus shipping. Okay. So with international, what you want to do is you're going to use Custom Cat's international rules, assuming that you use Custom Cat for your print on demand provider, as the basis for our shipping rules. So it's going to start off at $7.50 for the first product, and then it's going to be an additional $4 per product. So we're just going to basically, instead of having us start at $4.95, we're going to be starting at $7.50. Okay. And that could differ depending on what print on demand provider you use. The reason I started at that rate is because that is Custom Cat's international rate. Now, another thing, and I truly believe every single store should have print on demand and drop shipping. But if you're just focused on drop shipping products, you're going to be pricing your products based on the total cost, including shipping. So it wouldn't be rare at all to do very aggressive free shipping promotions. Let's say spend $50, get free shipping if the majority of your products are drop shipping, because there's no additional cost for the shipping cost. You're pricing that in, right? You're looking at your product cost as whatever it costs you total to get to your customer's doorstep. You don't need to add shipping like you do for print on demand. Okay, I'm just going to add a couple more. I'll just go right up to the first free plus shipping rate. Okay, and we're going to save this out. So again, this is meaningless that we just did this until we start having products that correspond with these weights. So let's just show you an example by going to remember we have a test product in here. When we have a test product in here, all we need to do is go down into the variance and change the shipping weight. Okay, right now it's set to 0.0. So right now if we added this product, it would come up to be $0 shipping. Let's set it up to be a free plus shipping product. Again, we're using these rules. 0.5 is our free plus shipping weight. Okay? And also do the math, right? Let's say they add 2 of these products, right? Well, 2 is 1.0. We didn't create this rule, but later we will. And it'll be $18.95, right? So we have everything covered, multiple quantities, etc. Right? So 0.5 is the weight. Save that out here. I'm going to come back to I'll go to our live store, and I'll add this product to our cart really quick. And what we should find is a $0 item, but we should find $9.99 for shipping, right? Oh, that's right. I got to enable the checkout. All right, we'll run that test in a little bit, but I promise you it definitely works. Because we have the rule set up here, right? Let's say I wanted to charge $4.95 shipping on this product. What I would do is change the weight. Instead of 0.5, I would change it to 0.1. And why would I change it to 0.1? Because I dictated that 0.1 pounds gets $4.95 shipping. Okay? So we'll have all these things in here. Let's say you only wanted to do price-based rates. I see Kate says, how do you set up shipping, free shipping for 50 plus? Go to this. Minimum range, $50. Maximum, no limit, free shipping. Okay, so if someone spends over $50 in the store, they're going to get free shipping. Okay, and if you're going to do something like that, I would certainly recommend that we would add that little section over back in the online store theme setup to the header section. Right, we had that little announcement section over here. We'd say, spend $50, get free shipping. Right, that's a great hook. Okay. So we're going to continue going over here. We have our shipping rates. I'm going to delete this over here. We have our shipping rates saved for domestic. We're going to do the exact same thing for international. Of course, I'll do this off camera just to save some time. You guys will see. All we need to do is come over to rest of world, and we do the same thing that we did before. We would first of all delete the calculated rates, and then we would start building weight-based rates. Instead of starting at $4.95, we'd be starting at $7.50. So in fact, I'll just do the first one, standard shipping international, 0.1 to 0.1, and we're at $7.50. Okay. And I'll save that. Now, one more thing that a lot of people get caught up on or tripped up on, you absolutely have to scroll down, and this is the stupidest thing. We have to scroll down over here, and you have to go to the saved packages, sample box weight, and change this to 0. Okay, this is basically for people who are shipping physical products and weighing their products. We're not. Right? We're never touching our products. So we don't have any boxes, and our boxes don't weigh anything because they don't exist. This will mess up your shipping rules. If you don't put in 0.0 pounds here, this will absolutely break your shipping rules. Okay. Jay says, should the shipping from address be the POD address? No, it needs to be your address over here, just for Shopify verification's sake. Okay. So we have this set up over here. And also, Jay, it doesn't matter what the address here is because we're not printing labels, right? This is mostly for printing labels. But you don't want to use any other address but your own, just in case you get Shopify verification. Okay. So we're continuing on here. We did our shipping rules. We're going to go down under taxes, and I'm going to show you this. We don't need to do anything here because Shopify sets this up automatically for you, or at least if you're in the United States. Okay. If you're not in the United States, the rule with the United States is if you have a nexus or if you have a physical presence in any location, and this doesn't mean your vendors or your outsourcers, right? Not your print-on-demand partner, but if you physically have an office, or if you're located in, for me, I'm in California, I need to charge California sales tax, and that's set up automatically as you see here. Okay. Now, if you're international, make sure that you figure out your local tax liabilities. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but typically, based on where you sign up, Shopify will figure out what the tax law is and enter this in here. Just make sure you check this out. Okay. You don't need to be paying for, you don't necessarily need to be paying for taxes in other locations depending on where you are. So make sure you figure out what your actual tax liability is. Again, for people in the United States, it's where you have a physical location. That's your tax liability. Okay. So moving forward over here under settings, we're going to go to the next one over here. Notifications. I'll just show you this real briefly. These are basically all the emails that go out to your customers. For example, order confirmation. Right? You want to be very careful if you're ever going to edit anything in here. I don't often recommend it because, as you see, there's a lot of code. Okay, one little typo could completely mess up all the code on this setup. Okay. So we are going to go back to settings here. Just a couple more things that I need to show you. Files we could skip, sales channels we could skip. We're going to go to account now. Okay. Now account, a couple different plans that we need to talk about, and I'll show you the plans here. Now there's basically no reason why we're not going to be on this plan. Okay. What's going to happen is everyone starts on this plan. This $29 plan. And by the way, if you do the math, you see that the 21-day trial for my link, we're not going to pay anything until August 7th. Okay, and in fact, really, 21 days from now, considering I don't need any time to go through my boot camp strategy, since I already know the entire strategy, we'll prove out this business before I even give Shopify $1. Right. So again, when people ask me why do I launch a new store every week, I tell them why not. Right. I'm not paying for custom cat. I'm not paying for drop shipping. I'm not paying for Shopify because I can prove out a business well in advance of 21 days. And hopefully that's what we're going to see here. I think that if we don't make sales, or if we didn't find something that is at least slightly scalable by 21 days, the store is getting shut down before I even get charged, right? You see the power of understanding how to launch niche stores in this business, right? It's like we're basically getting a free invitation to potentially launch a 6 or 7 figure business. So I'm going to choose this $79 a month plan. The reason why we're choosing this one is for one reason and one reason only, and I'm going to move this off screen, enter in my information. It's for the reports, right? Shopify they do a horrible job of giving you reports unless you're on that $79 plan. So you absolutely need to be on that plan, okay? So just bear with me. I'm just entering in my information, blah, blah, blah. It says they're not going to bill me until August 7th because I have that extended trial. Okay, and in fact, now that I've paid for the plan, I can come back over here and we could actually go and check out. And we'll come over here. And we're just going to simply do this checkout. And we changed the weight to be 0.1. So on the next screen, we should see $4.95 as the shipping rate. There you go, $4.95. And in fact, I think we can play with it live. Let's go over here. Let's make this. Let's make it the free plus shipping weight again. And I think if I reload this page, there you go, $9.99. Okay, so it really has to do with the weight of the product and the weight that you set. A lot of people get mixed up by that. Doesn't matter what the product weighs. I don't care if this product doesn't even exist, right? But if it's a hoodie, it doesn't matter if it weighs a pound in real life. Whatever you want to charge is the weight that you put inside of that box. Okay. Kate says, does the customer pay the tax? Yes, definitely. The customer pays the tax. Shopify adds that on. So let's say it's $20 plus $5 shipping. It would be also plus tax. Okay. So anytime that you're responsible for tax, the customer pays it. That's what sales tax is. You just need to charge the right amount. That's what the Shopify setup is. In California, where I'm at, it's like 9.5%. Okay, great. So we were under settings, right? Where are we at here? Let's figure this out. Okay, we're under settings. Jay says, do you charge more shipping for bigger size shirts? I don't charge more shipping. The reason is it's the same flat rate shipping from Custom Cat, so it doesn't matter to me, right? You definitely can change your hoodie weight, though, right? It's totally reasonable to put hoodies at 0.3, right? $6.95 shipping. And then, in my opinion, I think that's actually a fair rate for shipping. So hoodies, you can certainly make your 0.3 pounds. T-shirts are going to be your 0.1. And if you're asking me what am I talking about those numbers, again, it has to do with these weights. 0.1 pounds, I want to charge $4.95 for a T-shirt. 0.3 pounds, I want to charge $6.95 for a hoodie. Okay. So we were finishing up under account, right? And we put this information all in there. And if you wanted to ever close or pause our store, we can do that on here. But now that we have our credit card in there and basically our account set up and our plan chosen, we're actually ready to remove our password. Of course, we need to do a couple more things that we need to go back to. Logo, store name, and domain. Okay, so now it's time to actually go ahead and look at, because we're done with our settings, right? We're done with our settings. It's time to look at actually, let's look at the agenda, right? We have apps to go into our next sections and, of course, product research. But we need to figure out a name for our store. Okay, and we're doing stuff in terms of mythical creatures and all that kind of great stuff. So we need to go and I'm going to bring up this really cool page called instantdomainsearch.com. It's like a little tool that lets you search through like hundreds or infinite number of domain names automatically. So what we need to do is figure out some names. Okay, and I'm going to scroll back up and I'm going to announce some of the ones that people have been talking about. We got, let's see, Dragon Hunters. We got Out of This World. Rain of Fire, Loch Ness Lovers, Animal Mystic. Animagination. That's hard to say. That's interesting. Alternative Myths. I like that one. Creature Crafts. Let's see what's available. So really with this tool, you get to just you start typing in stuff and it shows you what's available. So let's see if Creature Crafts is not available. Someone owns it, so we have to buy that. We don't want to buy anything apart from just a basic domain. Let's see. Yeah, Mythical Beasts. I mean, that would be nice. That's probably, I couldn't imagine that being available. Mythical Things. That's not great. But you see it turns blue if it's in there. What other? Throw out some other names in here. We might have to turn this into a group exercise instead, so we could find some great ones in there. Let's see. What were some of the ones? I had a list of them last night. Crazy for Creatures. That's pretty good. Crazy for Creatures. I like that. Okay, so we have one interesting one for sure. We're going to star this for now. Crazy for Creatures by George. George, congratulations. We might be picking that name. I like that. I definitely like the idea of creatures or, need something more special than animals, though. Okay. Well, we'll keep thinking on that, guys. If you have any other ideas, we'll keep coming back to this. I really want to make sure we do a good job on the name before we send it over to our logo designer. Okay, so our store is pending basically a logo and a logo and a name. Otherwise, we're ready to move on to the next section, which is apps. Okay, and I'm really very minimalistic in here for this, and I see a good question. I'll actually come back to this real quick. In terms of these domains, they have to be .com. Right, they absolutely. I will not go live with a store that isn't .com. I really, I can't say that enough. I mean, you could not name me one trustworthy e-commerce store that is not a .com. Right? I mean, there are none that are out there. You have to have a .com. If you want to immediately lose trust, get something like .store or .info or .ninja. Right? I mean, people don't understand that. Maybe you're comfortable with those because you're on a webinar right now. You're more technical. You're technically more savvy than 99% of the internet users in this country. Right, but you need a .com. That's what's going to build trust, okay? So we're talking about apps now, and really there's only 5 that I must install, right? There's some other cool ones as well, don't get me wrong. I like implementing review apps as well, depending on what product that we have, especially if we can pull some reviews from AliExpress on a free plus shipping product. That's always great. But for the most part, it's going to be 5 apps, okay? It's going to be Oberlo, which is going to do our automation for drop shipping. It's going to be Custom Cat, which is going to do our print on demand, right? And there are definitely alternatives for both of those, right? There's the Dropified app, or for there's plenty of other t-shirt print on demand apps out there. Just Custom Cat is the one that has the lowest costs. Then there's going to be 3 apps that I'll install on every single store. MailChimp number 1, Abandonment Protector number 2. That's going to do your abandonment emails, right? So when people add a product to cart, they don't finish their checkout. Abandonment Protector will actually send an email automatically saying, "Hey, come back." And then, last but not least, Boost Sales. Okay, that's going to be doing upselling. And really, there is absolutely no way to do free plus shipping profitably if you're not upselling. So we have to definitely have upsells in place as well. Okay. Houston says, do you recommend Shopify app instead of Oberlo? No, they're both about the same. I like Oberlo for new stores because it's free to get started. Okay, so they're going to do about the same. They both have the ability to do cash back. So I really just think that Oberlo, it's free to get started, and you might as well use them. Okay. Kirk says, what's the benefit of using Abandonment Protector over MailChimp? I use MailChimp just for basic email marketing. I don't use their automation. Their automation is relatively new. And why don't I use it? Really because I've just continued to have success with Abandonment Protector, and I was using Abandonment Protector before MailChimp came out with their abandonment emails. So, I really, at what is it, $8 a month for Abandonment Protector, I don't see any reason not to be using them, considering they work well, they get delivered into the inbox. Kwang says, doesn't Shopify have Abandonment Cart by default? Yes, but it's terrible, right? It only sends one email. Abandonment Protector sends 3. You get very little customization with the Shopify one, so I can't stress it. You don't want to use theirs. MailChimp is okay. I'm not as comfortable using their abandonment emails as I am with Abandonment Protector. So I really am a big fan of those. So we're going to install those right now into the store, and we're going to come back for this domain later. So we're going to go into apps, and actually I told you earlier that I had all the links on the screen of what we needed, right? And what is this? This is Custom Cat. Okay, so Custom Cat, you're going to find that over at cc.justincener.com. I'll just give you the real quick rundown on Custom Cat. It's about print on demand, right? You know what print on demand is. You know the model of print on demand. The reason why Custom Cat is by far the best option in terms of print on demand is 2 reasons. First of all, they're by far the cheapest. Okay, the reason that you probably have even heard of Custom Cat is because they have $6 for T-shirts. Literally, it's $6 to get an unlimited color T-shirt printed. So when we're talking about selling T-shirts for $22.99, and we're absolutely going to be adding T-shirts in our store, in our actual store, we're going to be making $18 margin per T-shirt sold, and $18 margin for a product that we never touch. That's amazing, right? And if you look over here, these are some of the other competitors out there, and there's some better priced ones than these. But Custom Cat is sometimes 2 times cheaper than the next closest competitor. So that's number 1. Number 2, they have the biggest product selection out of any company, out of any app out there. I mean, this is just a small selection. They have over 300 different print-on-demand products, and they're always adding new products as well. So, I mean, you want to have the most selection, you want to make the most money, you use Custom Cat. I'm absolutely using them on my store, and you do have to pay for Custom Cat, right? You can get a free trial if you use this link, cc.justincener.com. I already have an account. You get to install it on multiple stores. So I'm going to come over here inside my members account, and I'm simply going to come down here, and you'll get to this page after you become a member of Custom Cat. Again, cc.justincener.com. You can sign up, get the free trial, get into this membership site, and then you come over here. You enter in your PayPal email information that you signed up with. You go ahead and you grab your myshopify.com URL. So even if you get a domain, you're still putting in your ugly .myshopify.com URL. You're going to click Get Started. This is going to send us back into... Oh, whoops. Got to use my other one. Come over here and bring this back up. So what's going to happen after we do this, in fact, is going to bring us back into our store, and it's going to allow us to actually go ahead and configure the Custom Cat app, right? It's basically going to go and say, okay, do you want to install the Custom Cat app? And you're not going to find this through the Shopify store. You have to use that link to find it. So we've installed Custom Cat. Right? Again, the process is you sign up for Custom Cat, you get sent to the members area, you then enter in your myshopify.com URL, and you are brought back to your store to install the app. And then we need to go ahead and actually create an account. Okay, this is going to be where we're going to put a credit card or PayPal on file, so people are going to immediately be able to receive the products that are ordered print on demand. There's not going to be any lag in between. As soon as an order comes in, Custom Cat's going to start producing it based on the fact that we already have a credit card or PayPal on file. Okay, and I'm going to put this over here. We'll change that in a little bit. But we need to enter in all this information. Okay, and I'll just move this into the other screen, just do the credit card real quick. And they're not going to charge you for anything except for products, right? Except for products that are already ordered. So there's no worries in terms of putting your information on here. Again, this is just really to make sure that when an order comes in, there's no lag, right? They're immediately going to take your product. They're immediately going to start producing it. They're going to bill you for it. And again, this is why print on demand is so amazing. It's all about cash flow positivity with print on demand. You sell a product for $22.99 plus $5 shipping, you're collecting $28, right? After you collect $28, meaning your $28 is already paid to you. Afterwards, Custom Cat charges you $6 plus $4 for shipping, $10 total. You're making $18. Your job is done. If I got to pick any product to sell at scale, it would absolutely be print on demand through Custom Cat. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I added my credit card on here, and now we're ready to actually go ahead and add product. Okay, now we're going to need to obviously get product designed. We're going to need to go and work with the designer or go and grab some designs in order to start using Custom Cat, and we'll talk all about that in terms of product research at the end of this call. But next on our list in terms of apps is Oberlo. Okay, and we can go over here. I got another extended or a free trial link for you. auto.justincener.com, auto.justincener.com. Kirk says, does Custom Cat allow multiple stores per account? Yes, 3. If you sign up through the trial link, you're going to be able to get 3 stores for your paid account once the trial ends. Okay, so otherwise it's just 1, but just use that link, cc.justincener.com. You're going to be able to get 3 stores per account. Kate says, can you use Custom Cat and Next Level? Yeah, absolutely. You can use multiple providers if you want, but keep in mind, the more providers you have, the more shipments that people could potentially get when they buy multiple products. Let's say you have a mug from T-Launch and a T-shirt from Custom Cat, and someone orders both, then they would receive them in 2 different shipments. Okay. So we're over here on auto.justincener.com, bringing you over to my discount link for Oberlo. You're going to get it free until you get to a certain number of sales. That's just how Oberlo works. So we're going to come over and click Add Oberlo to Shopify, and it's going to bring us back into our Shopify store, just like Custom Cat did, and we're going to install the app into our store. And this is probably the millionth time I've installed Oberlo, so I already have the Chrome extension on my site, right, on my computer. But if you didn't, you'd be prompted to install the Oberlo Chrome extension and get everything set up in terms of being able to actually go and automate the process. Now, what does Oberlo do? Oberlo is all about automating AliExpress. Okay, super easy. We're going to even add a product today, right? We're going to go and basically through this process of finding a product, we're going to do product research, and we're going to go and import the product directly from AliExpress into Oberlo, and then from Oberlo, we're going to import that into our store. Okay. So very powerful tool here, and of course you haven't seen me take my credit card out yet for Oberlo at all because it's totally free to use until you get to, I think it's something like 50 sales. Some more questions I see. Does this Custom Cat, will Custom Cat combine multiple items into a single shipment? Yeah, absolutely. Custom Cat will combine items for sure. Right, items get sent together in orders in terms of the Custom Cat system. Okay, so we'll come back to Oberlo. And now we're going to move forward into MailChimp, okay? And we're going to go and sign up for free. This is MailChimp.com, okay? And we want to sign up for MailChimp first before we actually we want to sign up for MailChimp before we sign up for the app, okay? We want to have an account first. I'll show you why as we go through this process. So we're going to sign up here for free, and it's a free account. I'm going to use my account that I created for this store. All right. So we got our Shopify Live account, and we are going to click Get Started. And it's free to set up, free to sign up for MailChimp, and free for the first 2,000 emails as well. So I mean, we got a lot of room here without needing to pay. And you see the kind of the constant among all these things. We're not paying for Shopify because we have a free trial. We're not paying for MailChimp because we have a free trial, right? It's the wrong link. Here we go. We're not paying for Oberlo because we have an extended free trial. We're not paying for Custom Cat because we have an extended free trial. Right? We're going to prove out the business before we get a bill. You know, that's amazing. Right? That's why this business is so amazing, among many other reasons. Right? But just going to go and enter in all my information here. We're going to have to definitely get a name for our store. Actually, did get a couple more good suggestions that I think we can move forward with, assuming that we can find the domain. So we will definitely deal with that. Okay, and we got to put in our info here. Okay, and we can integrate Shopify in a little bit. We'll do this later on. Okay, And now we have a MailChimp account, totally free. If you've never built a MailChimp account, as you see, it's super, super easy. Not much you need to do here whatsoever. Now, what we definitely want to do is come over here, and before we go back to before we go back to Shopify, we want to create a list, okay? You need to have a list before you go back into Shopify. So you see over here, we have our Shopify Live list. We have basically subscribers in it ourselves, right? Or just our basic self in it. And we also have sign-up forms, okay? Now that we have sign-up forms, and we could even actually share these forms. You can even take a look. You could build a form here. You could even go and take a look at this page, right? You could send this out. Obviously, it doesn't look too pretty, right? You could send that out, and people would be added directly to your Shopify list. But now that you have a list created, right, Shopify Live, and you only need one default list, just the one that they create for you. Now you're going to come back into your Shopify store. Okay, we're going to go to apps. See the apps that we currently have. We're going to add one more. We're going to add the MailChimp app. Okay, it's the official one, MailChimp. Totally free to install. I'm going to click Get. Okay, and now what we need to do is basically connect Shopify to the account that we had just created inside of MailChimp. Again, this is why we need to create the account first. We've created it. Now we're going to click Install App, basically giving it permission to connect. And now you see it's got our list in here, Shopify Live. We're going to basically connect that list to our Shopify store, which means automatically now, right? Automatically, and we could actually take a look at what it does, right? But automatically what's going to happen is we're going to get, and I'll just show you the sections of the store. Anytime anyone enters their email address in this newsletter, they're going to automatically be added to MailChimp. Anytime that someone becomes a customer, right, they check out and they purchase a product, they're automatically going to become a MailChimp subscriber as well. So it means you're basically updating your MailChimp, you're updating your list automatically just because you have that app installed through the footer newsletter box and automatically, and more importantly, anyone who's a customer. And the latter is very important, right? The customer information is very important. First of all, of course, you're going to be able to do email marketing to them. You'll be able to hit them over and over and over with email campaigns. Right, this you won't be able to start for a while because you need to have a couple hundred in there to really feel anything in terms of emailing. But that's something that you will get in the long run of this business. But more importantly, all their information is going to get sent over into MailChimp. For example, how much money they've spent, what products they've purchased. So you can start creating some really, really unique emails. For example, you can create a segment inside of MailChimp, and you could send to only your VIP customers who have purchased from you, let's say, 3 different times, or send a follow-up email to customers who purchased a specific product, or send an email to people who have only spent over $1,000 on your store. Right? These are the things that you get to do inside of MailChimp simply by implementing the free app that I just showed you how to install. And that's the only time you need to do anything with it. It's good. The connection is made. You don't need to do anything else. Okay, so that's the MailChimp app. 2 more that we want to connect. This is Abandonment Protector. Okay. I'm inside the Shopify App Store. All you need to do is literally just type in Abandonment Protector, and you'll find this app. It's $8 a month. You got a 21-day free trial. Again, not paying for anything within the first 3 weeks, and we're going to prove the business before that date. So we're going to add this into our store right now, just giving it permission to install. We're going to approve the charge. That's going to hit after 21 days. And now we're actually inside of our Abandonment Protector system. First thing that we need to do is go right into our settings up here. And we want to make sure that everything is looking good in terms of our time zones, in terms of the emails that we're going to actually go ahead and set up. And those are going to be found inside of, they've actually been updating this a little bit. Let's see where they moved it to. Abandoned day, check out 30-day priors. Okay, so we got to just go right to automated follow-ups. Okay. Right to automated follow-ups, and this is the one that we want to actually enable. So we're going to come over into here, and we're going to edit the settings here. Basically, what we're going to do is create this campaign. Okay. So what we need to do is, how many emails do we want to send? 3. Okay. 3 is the max that we can send. We want to send all 3. Okay. And this basically says that's on. Now, when are we going to actually set up the timing? We're going to set this as default, which means within 18 hours, they're going to receive 3, or potentially 3 if they don't respond to any of them in terms of purchasing. They're going to receive 3 automated emails from us. We don't need to press send. We don't need to do anything. Just this is going to happen from now on. Anyone who abandons their checkout, right? They add a product to cart, but they don't finish checking out, they're going to get 3 emails 10 minutes after, 5 minutes after, and 18 hours after. So effectively, actually 24 hours total. They'll receive 3 emails. Okay, and we're going to go and edit those emails right now. Okay, again, 3 emails are what you want to use. You want to edit and set up all 3 of these emails because they're just going to basically give you the highest chance to convert these people. And this will be significant. You could find anywhere between 3 and 10% save rate for your abandonment emails, which means you'll get 3 to 10% more sales just by implementing this. I mean, this is only $8 a month. It's a definitive no-brainer in terms of implementing Abandonment Protector. Right, so I'm going to pick this template, and we're going to enable basically the settings at the start. Okay, and we have all these different things. We can customize this if we wanted to, but we're going to go in and basically save this template. As you see, it's basically just using information from our store. Okay, so we'll select this template. We can go through and literally edit some things in here. Now, there's some important things that we need to actually remove. Okay, now I'm good with the text here, but I need to definitely remove the imagery. I want to remove basically all extra imagery from the theme or from this email right here. Okay, I want to remove that imagery. I want to remove this section. Okay. And that looks good. I am going to change. Actually, yeah. I didn't see the icons here. We got to edit this, remove this. Okay, making sure, and these links will update in terms of our domain. One thing that we want to definitely change is our subject line. And I like kind of playing around with this. Oh no, there's something wrong with your... So I like doing something like this even though they don't have an order, but it gives me the highest open rate out of a lot of different things that I've tested. And I forgot to mention why I removed the images. It's based on the fact that sometimes when adding images in here, they're going to basically give you a higher chance to hit the spam filters of these people on the abandonment side of the actual open and receiving rates. So taking out all imagery should give you the highest chance to actually get their inbox. Okay. The extra imagery like your logo and stuff is not that important. I'd rather have them hit the inbox rather than anything else. So I'm going to save changes here. And now I'm going to go to the second template. Okay, and I'm going to pick one that looks similar. Okay. And I'm going to go and select this template and do the same thing. I got to go and delete this top section. I have to delete the social media section because I don't want to have the images over here, the icon images. And then I have this over here. I'm going to change my second email. I changed the subject to the first one about the order. So something I really love doing, putting emojis into the email. I found open rates have been significantly higher, especially on mobile. People are opening on iPhone and Android email clients when there's emojis in there. Okay, so I put just basically your shopping cart is still saved, right? That's the whole theme of the abandonment emails, that their shopping cart is saved. They can come back to it and get it. So this one's saved over here. And now I'm going to go and now do the third email. Same idea here. I'm just showing all these different options in here. Now, the free shipping one is an interesting option, except for the fact that we're doing free plus shipping. And we're going to get a ton of abandonments on free plus shipping, and you can't create free shipping for free plus shipping. So we don't want to offer that. Same with discounts, right? You can't offer a discount on top of a free item. So we're just going to have to go and use one of these. Okay. Same thing as the other two emails. We're just selecting the third one. I'm going to delete this top logo section because I don't want any images in here. I'm deleting the social media section because I don't want any social media icons in here. No images. I want to hit the email inbox as best I can. Last thing I need to do. Last chance for your saved products. And save. Okay, that's good. Last chance. There we go. and save changes here. Okay. I like using last chance. I mean, I haven't found, I still see pretty high open rates on the third one, so I think this is just a soft warning. So I'm moving forward with that, and we have our abandonment template set up. What you're going to find is over here on this under the stats, especially with free plus shipping, we're going to find a huge amount of abandoned checkouts. What we should typically see is somewhere between 3 and 10% for recovered order rates. Okay, and that means, again, 3 to 10% additional revenue just for setting this up. And with free plus shipping, it's a total necessity because people are going to definitely abandon checkout when they see the shipping cost. That's the whole kind of challenge with free plus shipping. So this is going to be very, very effective. We're going to send hundreds of emails over the next couple of weeks just for our free plus shipping offers. Okay, so that's Abandonment Protector. And last but not least, we have Boost Sales. Okay, Boost Sales over here, a 15-day free trial. This is going to basically present something like this. It's going to be a pop-up, and it works very nicely on mobile. That's the reason why I use Boost Sales. It always works on mobile. Going to basically present additional options for people to buy. And this is also a necessity when doing free plus shipping or really any products. You want to present related items to people who are already ready to buy products. And people who see upsells are people who have added a product to cart. So we assume that they're pretty valuable, right? Because we assume they're valuable because they are almost, or they're at the beginning of the checkout process. So since they're valuable, since they're, especially for us, all about a specific niche or a sub-niche in this case for this store, then we would absolutely want to give them more options to purchase from, right? Upselling is basically the idea of giving them similar options to add to their order. We're upselling them. We're upcharging them. We're basically trying to get more money from people who are potentially going to be our customers. And it's going to basically create an offer that looks like this. So when you do free plus shipping, the whole idea is we're going to make a little bit of money on the free plus shipping product, but we could hopefully get a nice margin sale on a retail product as the upsell. Okay, and you're going to find upsell rates between 3 and 5%. On really great offers, maybe see 6, 7%. And that means, 3 to 5% of your orders are going to be significantly more valuable, right? And this is how you increase your average order value, a very straightforward way to do it, right? Just by implementing upsells. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to click Get to install Boost Sales onto our store. Okay, we'll install the app. We're not going to have much to set up here because we need to set up Boost Sales specific to individual products. Okay, I'm going to come over here. I use the Ninja one at $39 a month. You get a 13-day, a 15-day free trial. So let me come over here and just drag this off the screen. I'll put my credit card information in. Okay, again, they're not going to be charging you here until what? Until 15 days from now. So we'll know a lot about our store by then. This is just another example of us being able to, really do a great job. Really do an actual great job of keeping our costs down, right? Because we're not going to have anything charged for at least 15 days or 14 days, I think, is our lowest trial. So I'm continuing this over here. And, okay, we're going to go, and they're now onboarding us into the app here. Get started. It's going to walk us through some options here, basically just showing the different types of products, right? So they have upselling, and they also have cross-selling. Cross-selling is basically bundling. Okay, and we're going to skip this step, of course, because we don't have anything in here for our upselling. We're just going to go to our dashboard, and I'll show you around the dashboard here. You're going to find a list of all of your, we can close out of all this, all of your different offers here. Okay, you're going to have multiple upsell offers here. You could even look at them, breaking it down this way, upsell, cross-sell. But upsell is really going to be more important to you. And, of course, you're going to find your conversion rate, how many times people saw the offer, how many, of course, orders you made, most importantly. And that's how you're going to add your first upsell. Okay, there's really only a couple things. You can watch this tutorial, but I'm going to show you just the real simple way to do it. You're going to name the offer, name it anything you want here. Okay, and then there's only 4 things you need to enter. Okay, number 1 is what's the goal, right? What is your goal here? Do you want to add a product to cart? Or do you want them to basically alternate a product and basically go from the small size to the large size? In almost every case, it's going to be the first option, add another product to cart. For example, they added a free plus shipping product to cart. Let's say it's a necklace. We say, hey, a lot of people who bought the necklace also bought the bracelet. Why don't you add that to cart? Right? That's what this upsell offer is going to motivate them to do. That's the goal. Okay, number two is the trigger. Okay, basically, if they add this product, if they add this trigger to their cart, then the upsell offer is going to open up. Okay, So what product should make the upsell go? We could select an individual product. We could select collections, right? Remember, we built collections earlier, right? We had the dragon collection. So for example, let's say we have an awesome dragon product and we want it to pop up every single time someone adds a dragon product to their store, to their cart. Well, then we would set it up this way, right? The trigger is anytime someone adds a product from the dragon collection. Okay? If it says right there, if customer adds these products in these collections to the cart, the offer will pop up. Okay? Now the next thing, number 3, what is the offer? What product should be shown as the upsell? Okay, so you could show it over here. You could show an entire collection of products because remember you saw in the screenshot, I think the screenshot's gone, but it was multiple products being presented as an upsell. It doesn't have to be just one. So you can come over here. You could find individual products. For example, test, right? That could be our upsell or really any product that we have. We only have one right now. But you just go in here and find the product. Okay, so again, what's the goal? What's going to trigger the upsell? What is the upsell product? And then this is just simply the text. Okay, these really work best. Something like this where it's very specific to the other product, right? Product name right here. This is going to be automatically replaced with the product that's in their cart. Okay, and that's super valuable, right? So it's very, very specific to them. So let's say you added, again, a dragon necklace. It's going to say frequently bought with dragon necklace, right? And then you just press submit offer, and you're done. You're going to have, then you're going to go and see all your upsell offers right over here. Okay, and you'd create that for each different upsell combination you'd want. Okay, and really every single free plus shipping product, in fact, every product should have an upsell associated with it. But keep in mind, you can base the rules off of collections, so you don't need to create these for each product, right? Basically, in the example that I showed you, any product inside the Dragon collection will present that upsell. You don't need to create 100 different upsells if you have 100 products. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and I'm very minimalistic when it comes to apps. That's all I'm installing right off the bat. Again, I might install a review app if there's some really great reviews on the products that we find, but you don't have to go crazy here with apps. Right, you don't have to go crazy here, and if you do the math, this is $8. This is $38. 30 free. So we're talking about less than $70 on the apps once everything is up and running. And again, we're only paying for this if we've proven the business. If we're going to continue the business on here, we have zero risk because they all have extended free trials over here. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty confident about our store now. We need to go back to the agenda here. Okay. Got our apps over here. We're going to talk about product research, which is going to be, obviously the most important thing because, again, the hard parts of this business, not setting up, not customizing, not operating, not answering customer service, not performing drop shipping fulfillment. It's about making a product to customer match and then scaling that. Okay, and product to customer match, obviously 50% of that is finding great products. So we need to find great products today, and we're going to do that. We're going to talk about scheduling goals, and now we're going to actually go ahead and finish this off with the store, bringing this domain search back. So creaturecraze.com, Jay, that's a good suggestion. Creature Fever was another one. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see if either of those are available. Creature Craze, it's available. The other one, Creature Fever. Both of them are available. Okay, that's great. Any other last-minute names? We got Creature Coliseum. Kirk, I'm not a fan of Coliseum because it's hard to spell. I don't want people to, for direct traffic, I don't want people to misspell that. I'm even a little worried about creature, to be honest, in terms of people spelling that. Okay. I like both of them. All right, we're going to put it to vote. Creature Craze, give me a 1. Creature Fever, give me a 2. Creature Craze 1. Creature Fever 2. Okay, looks like 1 is in the lead. Creature Craze 1, Creature Fever 2. All right, looks like Creature Craze. It's a close vote, but Creature Craze looks like it is going to be the narrow winner here. Thank you guys for those ideas. Creature Craze it is. So we could use this thing over here to buy it through this site, but really it's just going to be easier to buy directly through Shopify, directly through our store. We're not going to need to mess with any type of setup or anything like that, domain connections or whatever. So we can come right over here and we're going to go into our online store and we're going to go into our domains. Where are we at here? Whoops. All right, so online store, domains. We picked a domain. We know it's available, so we're going to click Buy New Domain, and we're just going to buy it through Shopify because, honestly, it's easier that way, right? We could maybe save, a couple of dollars by doing, maybe a GoDaddy coupon or Namecheap or whatever, but, I have no problem with going right over here. $14 a year. We're going to buy it directly through Shopify, right? They already have our information in terms of the payments and stuff, so we're going to go and click Buy. Okay. And just like that, we now own creaturecraze.com. Pretty awesome. Pretty cool. And we basically just need to, they sent me a verification email. Let me go and find that in my inbox. I'm getting asked to verify my phone number, so just got to get this text real quick. Okay, so let's verify this domain here. All right, got this little link here to verify this domain. Verify information. Please verify your contact information. Thank you. It's been verified. All right, great. So our domain is now set up into our store. We're going to be able to actually go and change the setting here. So all the traffic gets redirected into our www.domain. Super important. And we want to make sure we don't forget to finish off our theme and our general settings. Now that we have a great store name, come over here. Creature Craze. Save this up. Okay, and come back over here, online store. Themes. Oh, actually, we don't have a logo yet, but we have a name. So we'll come and just take a look at this. We should see Creature Craze up there. Here we go. We got to remove our storefront password. So online store preferences. We could finish this up. Take this password out. Now that we have our domain, we can do Creature Craze. I just like putting some general information here. The most unique probably want to change that later. But we'll just leave that in there for now. And we're going to want to set up Google Analytics. Okay. Now that we have a domain, we can set up Google Analytics, and it's totally free to build a Google Analytics account. We'll go to google.com/analytics, and I'll sign in to this account here. Okay, it's just going to ask us to accept the terms, sign up, enter in our information. Again, it's totally free. So we have Creature Craze. creaturecraze.com. Okay, we'll come over here and just put this under internet. Okay, and we'll share all that information with Google. It doesn't matter. Just going to go here and accept. The only thing that we're looking for here is a copy and paste script right here. It's called our website tracking script. I'm just selecting this whole thing and copying it. And I'm going to move back into Shopify here under Google Analytics and simply paste in the code. We're not done. A couple more things. We've got to click Use Enhanced E-commerce and save that. Okay, so now that we clicked Use Enhanced E-commerce, we can go back to Google Analytics. We can go under our settings, and we can go to e-commerce settings. And now we can simply turn all of these advanced/enhanced options on. We're just literally pressing the on button and saving, and then we're done with that. Okay, Google Analytics is now installed. I mean, it's unbelievably powerful, Google Analytics. It's also incredibly confusing. Basically, it's going to be a fallback option for our Facebook ad reporting. Okay, but a lot of great insights in there. Nicola says, is there an option for SSL through Shopify? Yes, automatically, right? It will turn on automatically. It's just, it takes a couple of hours for the domain to get activated, for the SSL to get activated, but you'll see this will change, right? You'll definitely have SSL. Reason that we're using www instead non, really, I'm not even sure if it matters anymore. It's for SEO purposes, or it used to be, that we want to have all the addresses going into one. Okay. Bruce suggests a good idea. We'll take a 2-minute break right now. I'm going to get a drink. of water. We're probably got another half hour here, maybe a little bit more. Okay, we're going to do some product research and talk about scheduling and goals, and then I'm going to do a little question and answer. So grab a drink. We'll be back in about 2 minutes. All right, everyone. How's everyone doing? All right, give me a 8 in the chat box if you guys are enjoying this. Let me see 8s in the chat box. I know I've been talking obviously a lot, but I want to make sure that this is kind of as you guys expected. I know it's a lot of for some of you maybe repetitive information, but obviously you're just seeing the entire process as we go on here. So I see some good feedback on here right now. Cool. So we're really, I think, to me, at the starting point, because everything that I just did, while it may be, Nicole, I'm asking for the number 8. Sorry. I'll accept A as well, though, but no, the number 8. All this is just prerequisites, right? I mean, this is, we have to do this, right? We have to obviously have a store. We have to have Shopify. It has to look nice. We have to have a name. I'm going to send a brief to a logo designer to do a logo for us. And that's just all requirement. And, it's whatever. It's not boring. It's just kind of interesting. But this is the good stuff now. This is the important stuff. This is the stuff that, is going to be, really what's going to make or break our store. Because, again, these are prerequisites to having a successful store. Now, can you have a successful store with a really ugly design site, untrustworthy, bad color scheme, etc.? No, you definitely cannot, right? But having a nice site alone is not going to make up the difference for the other hard parts of this business. Again, hard part number 1, matching up product to the right customer. Hard part number 2, scaling a winning product. Okay? So, product research template. Now, I would lie to you if I said I wasn't doing a little bit of product research beforehand to make sure that, we weren't going down a hole of, horrible products. So I found some really cool products for sure. But what I really want to share more importantly with you is the idea of my product research template. Okay, and this is actually something that I give to my one-on-one coaching students. These guys pay $5,000 a month to do this program. I'm going to share this out here in the chat. It's nothing revolutionary. It's a Google sheet. It's a document. It could be a Microsoft Excel. It doesn't matter. Basically, it's just a big sheet of product research, okay? And the reason why it's so important, right, is that it basically is a place for you to store your product research ideas. And from here on out, literally from this second on, or at least, in the mindset of this store for me, and for whatever your store is, 24/7 for me right now, my mindset has to be product research for this niche, right? And all my sub niches: wolves, dragons, unicorns, mermaids, etc. Right? I have to be in product research mode 24/7, and that means I need to be able to at any time jot down some good ideas. And maybe that means I'll show you what the list looks like. Right? It's just literally a basic Google Excel sheet. Let's see. I share this, shareable link. Copy this. I'm going to put this into the webinar chat. I think you guys should see that in the chat. I'll put it in the group later on as well. Okay, again, nothing special. You can create this document yourself. All it is just a place for me to put ideas and links. Okay, so for dropship AliExpress stuff, I mean, we should be filling up this document. And these are just samples, or actually old ones I've done a while ago. You'd be filling this up with all different information that you find, right? You spend a couple minutes on AliExpress, you find a cool product, you copy and paste the URL here. You're walking in the mall, you see a funny T-shirt that could be applied to your niche. You write about it here, right? Write about this, describe the design, paste the link, link to screenshot, whatever. Basically, this is just a huge diary of ideas, right? And this is incredibly important because if you were to tell me right now, okay, you have 30 minutes, go and find the best products for this niche, I'd know where to look, I'd know where to start, I'd be very thorough, and I still would never find every single product in the niche. It's impossible. Every minute that you spend in the niche, every day that you spend in the niche, the smarter you're going to be about what is going on in that niche, most importantly, what people want. So product research that you do on day 1 may look totally different than product research that you do on day 100. Right? So this is an ongoing thing. In fact, it's a 24/7 thing. No matter what, you're always in product research. Obviously, the more obvious modes when you're doing T-shirt research on T-Spy, or you're doing dropship product research on AliExpress, right? That's your typical product research. You'd be pasting links in here, but you're at the mall, you're at a store, you're at Walmart, you're at the beach. You see someone's T-shirt or hat or canvas bag, or you see a newspaper article or a magazine article, or you see people grouping up together for some activity, whatever. Right? Just pay constant attention to everything about your niche, and you'll be in great position to have a huge library of products. Again, it's not about finding them all right now. It's about having an ongoing library of products. So every single week, and here's a teaser to the schedule, right? Every single week, you know what X amount of products you're going to be launching, right? It's not good enough to say, okay, on Monday I'm going to do the product research. No, it's a 24/7, 365. You're always doing product research, and that's how you're going to find good products. If you think that you're going to go into this business and go to AliExpress and just find a random product, or go and get a ugly T-shirt design and just put that up on your store and sell, it's not going to happen. Right? We're not tricking people into taking their credit card out yet. We're not gambling. We're not it's not a strategy. I mean, we need people to want the product. Right? We need real humans to have real feelings and actually want our product, which means they're not going to buy crap. Okay, I think that's a huge misconception that a lot of people have. You need to have a good product. It's not just about the site. It's not just about the ads. It's about matching up a good product with the right customer. Okay, and product research, by having this huge document of products, you're going to be in a very good position to do exactly that. Okay, so that all being said, I pumped up this list so much. I didn't use it yesterday. I was doing product research, and I just kind of got lazy, and I started saving them into one of my AliExpress accounts instead of adding them to the list. But I'll definitely add them into the document list later, and I'll show you these in a second, but I'll first show you the kind of thinking behind searching for the products. And actually, let me go and jump around a little bit and talk about the schedule. Okay? The schedule of how we're going to lay out, and I'm going to lay out the entire testing, the ad setup for testing in the next call. But what we're going to be doing in general is we're going to be launching with my niche testing strategy. The goal is to figure out where the buyers exist in our niche ASAP, right? The goal is not to make $10,000 in the first week. The goal is not to sell 15,000 hoodies. The goal is simply to find out, where do buyers exist inside of my niche? And I'm going to organize my niche. I'm going to organize the research of my targeting for the niche. I'm going to show you all this next call around this idea, but I'm also going to organize the product basis and the way that I introduce products in this idea as well. I need to find out where buyers exist. Okay? Let's see if anyone can answer this question. If I want to answer the question where buyers exist, what's the first thing I should do in terms of product research? Or where should I spend most of my attention? Okay, I didn't ask this question correctly, obviously, and it's my fault, not your guys. Okay, what type of product this is the better question? What type of product should I immediately look to if I want to answer the question, where do buyers exist in the niche? See if anyone gets it. Well, everyone is technically correct. Jay says most sold. Bruce says look on Facebook. Siegfried says passion products. Larry says the one that matches the niche. It's a loaded question. I don't even know why I asked that. I'm just going to forget that I asked the question. Okay. Basically, you're going to use free plus shipping to answer that question. Okay. Free plus shipping is what I wanted you to say. If we're using free plus shipping not to make a lot of money, right? We're using free plus shipping to answer the very important question, where do the buyers exist? And this is going to make a lot more sense when we start organizing our niche into the way that I'm going to break it down to test. But we're not going to leave anything unanswered. Basically, if something works, we're going to know exactly what's working, why it's working, how to replicate that. Right? So while we're not going to go entirely only free plus shipping because, we don't really need to do that much of it, we're definitely going to look for free plus shipping products to start in conjunction with print on demand products, in conjunction with retail dropship products. Okay? But I found this over and over and over, and I do this with every single one of my coaching students and every single one of my stores. I'm going to prove my niche, and I'm going to build out my targeting, and I'm going to answer all the questions that I need answered in terms of which targeting groups are going to give me the best results in terms of CPM, cost per click, CTR, and of course purchases. I'm going to achieve that fastest through free plus shipping. Okay? Now let me be very clear. Am I going to build my entire business for the next 10 years only doing free plus shipping? No, of course not. Right? I'm using it as a means to enter into the niche. I saw a huge post in another group yesterday of free plus shipping ruined my business. Right? Well, I mean, okay. I'm sure that probably whatever you did ruined your business because you didn't do it correctly. Right? You're going to see how to do free plus shipping correctly. Right? It's the easy. I was having this conversation with someone else. Hey, I have $10,000. How can I guarantee my success? I'd say, okay, spend $10,000, break even or lose $1 per sale doing free plus shipping, right? And why is that? Because with $10,000, I mean, that's way more than I would ever invest in terms of testing, right? I'm talking about a couple $100s to figure out if a niche is working or not. But you spend all that money on free plus shipping, you answer all these questions. 1, what are my best 10 targeting options for targeting Facebook? 2, what are my 10 worst? 3, how can or this is not a question, but 3, I have an asset being an email list of buyers. 4, I have an asset of being a pixel that is completely optimized because it's had tons of purchases sent through. Right? 5, I know exactly what my customers respond to. Right? I didn't mention anything about profiting. That's number 6, right? You're also going to make money when you start doing this correctly. But even if you don't make money, the ability to break into a niche, it's not a permanent thing. It's an ability to break into a niche and figure out what's working. That's why we're doing free plus shipping. Okay? So when we're doing product researching, we want to have our goals in mind. At the beginning, we're going to be heavier with free plus shipping. When we're 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks into it, we shouldn't have to do free plus shipping ever again. Okay? But don't immediately write off free plus shipping as being something negative. I use it for all my stores. And that's why I can prove a niche faster than anyone else. Okay? So, that being said, in terms of the overall schedule, week 1, what we're trying to do is launch product this Thursday. Okay, we're going to either have our call Wednesday or Thursday, depending on how quickly I can get product into the store. Okay? But we're going to be doing product, and I've already done product research. I have a lot more to do. I'm actually going to share, I've already shared that document with you. I'm actually asking all of you to do product research alongside with me. Right, and fill up that document so we could have tons and tons of products to discuss for launching this week, right? Because I'm not wasting any time. I would love to hit our first sale by Thursday night, right? I'm definitely launching ads for Thursday morning, right? Whether it's going to be live together, scheduled on Wednesday, or live together on Thursday, just launching the ads right as whatever time we do it. That's going to be the schedule for week 1. Okay, we need to launch X amount of products. Okay, now I don't know what X is yet in terms of the number. Okay, I don't know how many X amount of products is. That number will basically be dictated by how many interest groups we figure out in terms of the niche, and that's going to be dictated again on my the way I break down the niche in terms of targeting. Okay, that's going to be probably an hour, maybe an hour and a half of a next class, just basically talking about getting the niche ready for testing. And then I'll lay out the testing with the idea that every Thursday, not just week 1, right? Every single Thursday for the rest of the life of this store, we're going to be launching X amount of products. And the most important thing I've said in terms of succeeding in e-commerce were those couple words just now. Every single week you're going to launch X amount of products. If you skip a week of launching products, you've lost thousands of dollars. If you miss a month of launching product, you lost tens of thousands of dollars. Launching product and doing it consistently is the guaranteed way to have success in the e-commerce business. Period, end of story. Right? There's no doubt. So we're going to figure out how many different targeting options we have. If we have 10 different targeting options, that means we can launch 10 products a week. And it doesn't mean that we can. It means that we will. Right? We are going to every single week, no matter what. Okay? Nicola says, is there a point to run ads to the store before there are 10 or more items listed? Yeah, I don't care. I'd run products. I run ads with 3 products to the store. Right? I mean, we're probably going to have, because we have sub niches, we're probably going to have, somewhere between 5 and 15 products in the store for Thursday. Okay? So, let me show you what I found so far. And also that kind of goes in line with our goals. I want to tell you goals about this week and then goals overall. Right, goals for this week is obviously we want to have everything set up. We want to have our targeting fully set. We want to have our niche fully researched. We want to have products in our store. And by Thursday morning, we want to have ads running. Okay? Obviously, my goal is we want to have something selling and hopefully something scaling into the weekend. Right? I mean, that's, of course, where I told you before. Who knows what's going to happen once we get to that point. Right? But that's my goal. My longer term goal is, by week 2 or 3 or maybe 4 that we're hitting $200, $150 to $200 days on average, for most days of the week. Okay. And by doing both of those things, that's where we've accomplished the 2 hardest things. We found product to customer match, and then we've started to scale, so we're able to actually get more than just a handful of sales per day. Okay. So I'm going to show you some of the products that I found, and I'm going to talk about the researching ideas, and then we're going to wrap up with a Q&A. Over here. So get your questions ready. So what I did was I focused more so on wolves because I really got on a roll here of finding wolf-related products. And let me close out some of these links so my computer doesn't just die. I'm pretty excited about the store and especially the name. So I have to make sure I get a logo. So I'm going to open up all these products. And there's basically going to be a theme here that you're going to be able to pick out and replicate for any of your niches or any of the future sub-niches that I want you to help me research, dragons, angels, unicorns, etc. Okay? But you're going to find here some very cool products. And I'm going to tell you why I think each of these products are cool. And I found these all through basically different searches. Okay? Now, any niche that involves passion, you're going to be able to do these searches on AliExpress. Okay? And I'm just going to use wolf as an example here. Wolf necklace, wolf pendant, wolf bracelet, wolf ring, wolf phone case. Here's another one. Wolf backpack, wolf canvas bag, wolf socks. Here's another. Here's another. Here's another. And more. Okay. Wolf cell phone case, wolf socks, wolf jewelry. These things are going to be items that you're going to be your traditional lead-in free plus shipping items. Okay, some of them are going to be nowhere close to $9.99 perceived value. Those are going to be the ones that don't work, right? Some of them are going to be way more than a $9.99 perceived value. Those are going to be the ones that you'll be able to find that will be huge winners. That's what we're looking for, of course. Now, just looking at these couple of free plus shipping products, I'm just going to show you. Let's just look at the socks compared to the cell phone case. Okay, just for an example, right? Which one's going to work? Which one's better? The correct answer is we have zero idea, right? And I believe that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's about 6 different products here that I just initially found. I think that all of these are exactly the same. They're intriguing, and that's about it. I don't know anything else. I mean, yes, they have sales totals, right? They pretty much all have good sales totals. This has 835 pieces sold. This has 5,000 pieces sold. This has 30,000 pieces sold. This has 400 pieces sold. 9,000 pieces sold. 1,000 pieces sold, right? So they have sales history, right? I mean, that's pretty much like you have to find stuff with sales history, but it's all about intrigue, right? It's all about intrigue. It's about the intrigue factor. Can you make people stop scrolling through the news feed because they've found your product to be intriguing? That's all you could ask for, right? When I'm doing product research and I'm going to fill up that, I'm going to fill this document up, right? This product research document, it's going to be filled up with products that have one thing in common: intrigue. I have no idea if they're going to work. I have zero idea, right? I believe that there are good chances to work because they're intriguing products. I think that they could stop people on the news feed, right? And sometimes I use cues from other things. For example, I've seen, these type of products, these black obsidian necklaces, sell well for other niches. Okay, that's a great example of product research. You're on Facebook, you see an ad for a product that looks like this, except on here it's got a big tennis ball on it instead of a wolf. And it's got 60,000 likes and 10,000 comments. Well, you can, have pretty high level of confidence that that product is doing well, right? Is it going to do well here? Who the hell knows? Right? But I see that at $6.29, including shipping, right? This is not a free plus shipping product, but this is a great product to add to my store. It's that $14.99 to $24.99 price range, right? Definitely something that we're going to be trying, right? This is nice and unique cell phone case. 10,000 or 5,000 pieces sold. Right, we could stretch this out at potentially at free plus shipping. Right, it's like 5 and change. So, I mean, a ton of options here. I mean, I really didn't spend much time researching. Right, and which products are better than the others? I have no idea. They're all on an equal playing field, in my opinion. They all have intrigue. Right, they all have intrigue here. Oh yeah, you're right. I was looking at the wrong thing. You're right. These are available, not sold. My fault. It does say sold somewhere on here. I think on the search. But either way, I mean, I looked for and I sorted by search term. So, for example, how did I find the wolf socks? I type in wolf socks. I type in orders. And then I found the ones that had the most orders. Then I looked in them. I made sure they had e-packet shipping, et cetera, et cetera. How did I find the wolf cell phone case? I literally typed in wolf cell phone case. How am I going to find products for mermaids? Well, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to type in mermaid bracelet. Okay. I'm going to type in, and right off the bat, I would add this thing, right? Anything that's colorful and has nice colorful imagery, I would consider to be intriguing. Because what is intriguing? Something that's simply going to stop people from scrolling down the newsfeed. And you see over here, it says orders 1,027. Okay. So Stuart says, do you have a formula for figuring out selling price? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Typically, what I'm going to be doing is doubling or tripling or maybe even more, getting to a psychological price level. $14.99, $17.99, $19.99. What we're going to see, right? We're going to see each one has their own point. With print on demand, prices are set in stone. Free plus shipping, you're between $7 and $10 shipped. It's those retail dropship items that have a very different variety of cost. Okay, but it's all about psychological levels, Stuart. Okay, so again, intrigue. I don't have any magic bullet. Anyone that tells you that they can pick out a product that's guaranteed to be a winner is lying to you. There's nothing that can guarantee people, real humans, emotions to your ad. But what you can definitely do is give yourself the best chance by thinking as your customer and thinking what's going to stop them when they're scrolling through Facebook on their mobile phone, they're thumbing through their phone real quick. What is going to stop them in terms of that intrigue factor? That's what you need to consider, and that's what you need to fill up the spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to post the spreadsheet link. I posted it up there, but I'm going to post it into the group as well. I literally want your guys' help on this, right? I want you to help me find dragon, wolf, unicorn, and mermaid products. Okay? And we're going to regroup probably on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to be doing stuff in the background like logo and more product research, and I'll be posting updates in terms of when I add things to the site. There's going to be a little bit of code that I'm going to add into the product pages. For example, I'm going to add trust badges. I'm going to change my buttons to be full width. These are little code hacks that I know how to do. You could get a little designer to do it. I'll write up a little thing about how I do them. But they're very easy. They're not anything challenging. I mean, I have a little bit of a code background, so I can do them. But they wouldn't be expensive to get taken care of. Otherwise, we're riding towards the big day, the big kind of milestone of getting everything ready to launch, and then hopefully doing the hard part, matching the product to the customer. Okay. So that being said, I want to open this up to question and answer. We've been on here for about 150 minutes, 2.5 hours now. So let's do a question and answer. Wrap this up. Of course, the recording will get sent to you. I'll post it into the group, so you'll be able to rewatch this as much as you want. Should probably take maybe an hour. It's a pretty long recording now. It'll take a couple hours to process. But opening this up right now, question and answer, guys. Threw a lot at you here. But the long and short of it is we have a store now that is ready to receive products and then ready to be organized in terms of chunks that are going to be tested for targeting, and we're going to be breaking right into our schedule. Will I allow edits on the spreadsheet? Yeah, I hope so. Let's see. Where's the spreadsheet? Let's see. We should be able to get right inside this spreadsheet. So link sharing is, anyone with a link can edit. Okay, so yeah, should be able to edit this thing now. Go ahead and add in some products in there. We could talk about it. Let's see. Can you explain profit margins and ROI? Sure. So profit margin, right, is basically the idea of, let's say you have a product that costs $10. You sell it for $20. Your product margin is $10. Okay. Now your ROI is basically after your ads, right? So you have your $10 margin, right? So you're making $10 per product. ROI stands for return on investment. So it depends on what you're going to be spending, right? But let's say you spend $10 and your return on that investment is $10, right? So basically you've canceled out, right? You have a $0 profit. You have a 0% ROI, right? Or depends on how you see it. You have 100% ROI in terms of return. You have a 0% profit. Okay. George says, what aspects do you outsource? So off the bat, the easiest thing to outsource is customer service. Just getting someone to man the basic email that is on the site. And actually, that reminds me. I need to add a Contact Us page. Definitely need to add a Contact Us page onto the store. And I'll just show you that really briefly. So online store, pages, add page, Contact Us. And every single theme has this over here. You don't even need to enter in anything into the contact box. You're just going to go over here, page, template, page.contact. Okay, and we're going to save that. And if you view this page, it's going to have the actual form in there right here. Okay, so that form will get sent to your general email address that you have under settings. Okay, let me take a couple more questions. What will be your average profit for the store? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm hoping that it's at least 50, 75, 100% ROI. But George, going back to that, what do I outsource? I outsource customer service, just in terms of people manning the email address. And I'll definitely eventually, or not eventually, but as the store grows or as it becomes consistent, I'll outsource adding product to the store, add imagery creation. That's about it. Those are the main things that you're going to outsource. Okay. Do you bother with a toll-free number? No, I don't. I've never had a number on any of my stores, to be honest. I don't think it's necessary. Let's see. If we live in the UK, how do we handle returns? So it's going to be basically the same way. You're going to have a return address. You could set up basically a return address overseas if that's where you're based. You could set up a P.O. box locally if you don't want to accept returns because you have no use for the product, which is often the case. Tell them to donate the product, right? I always do that with T-shirt print on demand. Why do I have them do that? It's because I want to have a great connotation associated with my brand. I want people to think positively and think, wow, this brand is so awesome that they want me to donate this to charity. I do it for two reasons. One, it's nice to do that, but two, I have no use of the product, right? So I really believe that if you get to the point where it's going to be a return, tell them to donate the product. It's worth more to you rather than getting it returned to your actual house. Okay. Let's see. Is there any disadvantage to setting up a fan page in Facebook that is not a brand website? No, it doesn't matter at all. Years ago, there used to be differences when they were Facebook pages looked a lot different. There were different options given to different pages, but now all the pages have about the same options. So I don't think there's at all any reason to. Let's see. Is it recommended to have a custom email address? It's definitely something I'll add in there in terms of getting started. I don't mess with it. Right, I mean, it's very easy to set up an email in there. We could do it through Shopify support. But just in terms of moving fast, right, money loves speed, I'm just going with my Gmail address. Obviously, once I start scaling, once the store is proven and consistent, definitely would want to put my .com email address in there. And you could set that up through Zoho or Google Apps, Google Suite. How do you describe shipping times for AliExpress products? It's a good point. I will build out a FAQ page, or I'll copy and paste some of the FAQ stuff into the group. I basically talk about the fact that we have warehouses nationwide. I'm sorry, worldwide. So they may receive multiple shipments, right? Because that's going to account for the idea. Let's say they bought a drop ship product and a print on demand. They'll get 2 different shipments, and I'm just upfront with it in the FAQs and the shipping policies, right? But what I don't put is the shipping time on the product page. I definitely won't do that. But for FAQs, I'll be putting in there the shipping time for physical products is 21 to 25 days or whatever, and then for for apparel products, it's closer to 4 to 10 days because that's going to be the domestic shipping. What are the payments other than Stripe that those in the UK need to be aware of? Stripe, Shopify payments, Authorize.net, PayPal. Those would be the 4 biggest ones, right? I don't think there's really anything outside of there that you need to mess with. How do you manage the AliExpress delivery delays? I mean, it's just an inevitable part of the business, unfortunately. I mean, there's nothing that you can go, there's only 2 options, right? You deal with these slow shipping times, right? And you have to deal with the customer service associated with that. Or you buy in bulk and you ship out from your, from a fulfillment house or your house doing it yourself. And, of course, that implements risk. So, I'm a realist when it comes to the AliExpress. I've been doing it like this for years, and I don't envision it changing. I mean, this is why we get such good prices and why we're able to get the margins that we're able to do. It's why we're able to do free plus shipping. It's why we're able to do all the type of stuff that we're doing when it comes to overseas dropship arbitration. Arbitrage, not arbitration. Should you offer discounts on the second or third abandoned emails? No, because with free plus shipping, it's impossible to offer discounts. So you're just going to deal with customer service, basically people saying, hey, I can't use the coupon code for 25% off of my free plus shipping product because the discount can't come off of shipping. So it just won't work and they won't understand it. Houston says, how do you calculate cost per purchase? It's basically just how much you spent on the ad divided by how many purchases. So let's say you spent $100 on your ads and you've generated 10 sales. It's 100 divided by 10 is $10 is your cost per purchase. Are some products in the niche going to have a gender bias? Yeah, definitely. And in some cases, we would only do targeting towards those genders, but we're not going to do anything like that until we have data to definitely tell us, or unless the product is, definitively for one gender. All right, I'm going to wrap up on this question, guys, and start processing the recording. Can you go over the most common product types found on AliExpress for niche product types? Absolutely. And Siegfried, do me a favor. I was actually looking for it this morning, and I couldn't find it. Post in the group so I remember. I have a list of, I think it's like 60 product keywords to search for. So it would be like dragon this, dragon that, dragon necklace, dragon backpack, dragon socks, dragon whatever. There's like a million of them, right? I couldn't find it. I don't know where it is. Probably on my other computer or something. Post it. I'll see it. I'll respond in there when I find it. It's a great list. But I would say all the different types of jewelry, rings, bracelets, necklaces, cell phone cases for sure, socks for sure. What else? Sometimes you could find hats free plus shipping, but typically not great ones. That's pretty much it in terms of just everything niche-wise. Backpacks are a little bit too expensive. Canvas too expensive. So those on the free plus shipping side. Then just in terms of everything, like I mentioned, canvas, obviously apparel, posters. That's about it. Kate, how do you send the products to me? You don't need to send it to me. Just literally you can get access to that spreadsheet that I posted earlier in the thing. I'm going to post it in the group as well. And then you're going to be able to actually edit that spreadsheet. Let me just open it up over here. It's this one right here, right? And we see someone actually already put in products. Go ahead and put your name in the notes section too. We see this. These are all the different people editing it over here, right? Just so I know who put in what. Okay, and I'll be adding this as well in terms of as I go through over the next couple of hours and do some product research. Found some really awesome products for wolves, and I'm sure there's going to be even better products for dragons. So I'm thinking about leading with those two, by the way, dragons and wolves, mostly because I think we could pick up a little bit of kind of complementary popularity over the Game of Thrones launch with dragons and stuff like that. Okay, so guys, definitely use the group for questions for sure. I want to make sure that the group is a great kind of area for you guys to advance this training. I'm going to definitively tell you whether it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday for the next webinar. I'm not sure yet, right? I want to make sure we get the logo back. But either way, Thursday, mark it off in your calendars. We will absolutely have ads running to this store. We absolutely will have traffic coming to this store, and if we do it correctly, we'll sell a free plus shipping product on the first 24 hours. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to process this recording. Give me some feedback on this. What do you guys think about this first class? Did you guys enjoy it? Was there something missing? What else do you want to see? Let me get the feedback in here, and then we'll wrap up for the day. Cool. Larry, thanks. Jay, Elliot, Bruce, Kwong, George, I appreciate the kind words. Kate, thank you. I'm glad you guys thought it was good. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to be very honest. The other webinars are going to be even better. I'm glad we got good feedback here, but the other ones are going to be real, really, really powerful. It's kind of shaping up to be exactly like how my coaching program is. The first one is kind of just getting the basics out of the way, and then getting those prerequisites, like I said, and then we're really going to be moving forward, and it's going to be exciting because I don't know what's going to happen. Right? We're going to log into the ads. We're going to log into our Shopify. We're going to just take a look in there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So with that being said, guys, see you in the group. I'm going to post the recording. It's probably going to take a couple hours now because this thing is so long. That being said, you should get a replay link from Demio as well. Maybe the video might process there quicker, but I'll talk to you guys in the group real soon. If you guys think of anything else, make sure you post it in the group. Otherwise, thanks so much for joining this awesome program. Really super pumped up that you guys are a part of it. Elliot, thanks for the Crazy Eights, guys. Thanks for all the feedback in here, and have a real great day.